Um. Oh yeah, I don't have my Twitch Prime anymore, so no more Twitch Prime icon for me. Rip. My free trial's done. Now I'm just broadcaster, sub to myself. Second this. Yeah, Uni was also here because I was running late. I actually got home about 5 minutes ago. Opened this box, large box with my name on it. Yo, how's it going, Tom? And opened this box and I got my... Oh, by the way, for people in chat, welcome. It is 7 p.m. Welcome to Visual Thursdays with Anime Fan Arcade 2K. We are playing some Katawa Shoujo. We are gonna do the Hanako route. We're gonna finish the Hanako route tonight, regardless. However, I am not 100% settled in. As I just got home 5 minutes ago. I was running late. Morning. Let me get a quick drink. Just simple Coke Zero, you know. Just a little soda to keep the vocal cords going. I'll also have a bottle of water on the side as soon as I go grab it. Don't worry, this is just Coke Zero, nothing mixed in at all. Normal. Keep it calm, keep it casual. But I'm really excited because I got my delivery of my keyboard. Because I ordered a keyboard since I built the PC. And Woomy? How's it going, King? It's a Black Widow X Chroma mechanical gaming keyboard. The Razer keyboard. It's pretty nice. I got to play around with it in Micro Center. I actually ordered one like for $50 less than what Micro Center was selling it for. Sorry, Micro Center. You guys are awesome though, because they were the ones that helped me pick out my PC parts to build my desktop. With that said, if anybody has suggestions for a mouse I should use for my desktop, preferably something under 100 USD, $100 US. I would greatly appreciate the suggestions. I was thinking of getting a mouse, and then I'm like, but I don't know what I'm shopping for. The keyboard, in fact, the reason I got the Black Widow X Chroma was because I had to use it. You're finding a Corsair mice? Yo, send me a link to one, and then I'll research it, because you know, I'm in the market for one, because I want to have a nice setup, because once I start using my desktop, I will. They have decent resistance. That's good. Yeah, once I get like all my setup and start using it, I will put a extra widget on my Twitch, so you can see what my setup looks like at any time, as well as make a shortcut for it. So, you have a sprained ankle, King? Don't walk on it. You'll go yeet soda. Yo, playmats are cool. Anyway, let's get into the game. When we last left off, things happened, but tonight we're actually trying to finish the Hanako route. I remember last time we estimate I might have like another 2 to 2.5 hours to go, or was it 1.5 to 2 hours? I was like, all right, we're gonna save that for tonight. Do it all tonight, even if it goes like 5 hours. We're gonna finish the Hanako route tonight. The hammering of a fist against the door feels like a nail being pounded into my head. Once, twice, 3 times. I let out a long, annoyed breath and bear it while pressing my eyelids shut, fervently hoping for whoever it is to just go away. Yes, Uni, I think so. Feel pretty damn awful. Face feels like it's cast out of lead. My arms feel heavy. Knees weak. Mom's spaghetti. Anyway. And I feel very queasy. It's been like this since I woke up half an hour ago, and I can't summon the energy to pick myself up out of bed. I've been doing these visual novels on Thursdays. So this is what they call a hangover. Oh, snap! Hungover from the wine drinking. I forgot about that. I wonder if perhaps this is the best treatment for teenagers who desperately want to try drinking as a way to feel like an adult. Considering how unpleasant this is, it's not something I want to repeat. Should we 2 to 2.5 hours? All right. Dude, actually, what's called? Who are all my moderators in Twitch? Because, yo, someone reminded me this after a live stream. I'm gonna drop a gift sub on all my mods. Because, like, I have the money to. Actually, you know what? I'll save it for next month, Uni. So your subscription doesn't go unrewarded. Actually, no. If you can drop a subscription on me, I would greatly appreciate it. And if you don't have the money to, like, if you have like Twitch Prime and you're not subscribed to anyone for some reason, you know. But if you cannot, I'll drop one on you guys because I'd rather have my mods like subbed. It just make me feel better. It's really strange. It'll be like money out of my pocket to give money to myself. Basically, I'm giving Twitch money, basically, because, you know. I cannot buy new ankles to replace sprained ones. Your sprained ankle is not broken. It's not destroyed. Like I said, take the weight off it. Wrap it tightly. Put a little pressure. You'll be fine. If it's bothering or inconveniencing you, you know, feel free to put a little ice so to keep the swelling down. You know, keep the pain a little bit away. Anyway. You can buy replacement parts. Uh-oh. Do you get 2 gift subs then, Tom? Tom, I think I've modded like 3 of your accounts. So it depends. I'll probably give you 2. For the one you're using now and then the other one that you're usually on. When you're, depending on whether you're on your mobile or your. Why do you have 2 accounts, Tom? Why do you have 2 accounts? Anyway. A series of thumbs rings out again, reverberating around the small room, which they just give up already. No intention getting out of bed for them. Want a cool robot leg? In the future. Who are my mods? I think it's Tom like 3 times, you, Uni, Meth, and Nightbot. I'm not gonna give Nightbot a sub, but those are my mods for now. I'm thinking maybe in the future, if I can actually get a Twitch partnership, which will be like if I actually have a lot more viewers, and at that point I would have to move my Monday night live streams over to Twitch because of their rules on live streaming once you're a partner as opposed to affiliate, and that's like sometime way in the future. Yeah, I'll probably give like Shade one because he's helped a lot on the YouTube side for the Grisaya live streams. But that's a very much Monday night live stream thing. You keep forgetting passwords? Decide one. If all else fails later. But anyway. Something. I hear like things rolling around above my head. Oh. Seconds pass, turning to minutes. Since no more knocks are coming from the door, whoever it was must have left. Thank goodness. You would help a lot by sleep. You know, Uni, it's fair. Because I know that I live stream. It's for you, especially for you and Tom. I start live streaming when it's midnight for you guys. Like, if I did like more, like if I did weekend live streams where I started earlier, it'd be easier for you guys. I get that. Like, but no, I live stream at night. At night my time, which is 7 p.m. in New York. So, I get it. You here for the food and memes? That's fair. Looking to my clock, the time when I really should think about getting dressed and ready for class is approaching. I don't think I can manage it though. This Katawa Shoujo visual novel is definitely, though, Tom's been very helpful on this one. So, and I know that Meth has classes and stuff all the time right now. Like, he's taking night classes and he live streams on Wednesdays, so he's usually not here to moderate. and then he doesn't come show up on Mondays because like it's just like he doesn't want to like invest himself in Grisaio or Nekopara because he played the Nekopara games, and so I understand. One day we'll see though how things play out for all of us, right? We're all in this together. Together forever, no matter how long. From now until the end of time. Oh my god. That Pokemon sings. Anyway, I hate cutting class, but I don't think I'm going to be able to get much done at this rate. I can tell I look like a mess without needing to look in the mirror to confirm it too. Well, Fate goes about to have maintenance in like less than 4 hours, so good luck with that. The morning rush is giving me enough time to stand outside the classroom for a little while without looking too suspicious. I hope that Muto doesn't ask any awkward questions about my not attending school yesterday. I mean, that's fair. I was sick. That much is true. It's just the reasons for it that I have to hide. Yeah, I've been really like swamped this past week because I bought like parts for my PC. I built it, so like, and obviously I'm keeping up with my live stream schedule. Like, and I had to take my car in for repairs today. On top of that, why is this song stuck in your brain? Because Katawa Shoujo has great music. Confident I can get by with a tactical omission of certain truths, stride into the classroom and best to appear normal. The instant I open the door and take a single step in, I feel a dozen eyes looking at me. There's no way I'm imagining this. They're not even making any attempt to hide it. Sleep is bad civilization. My eyes take a quick sweep around the classroom and spot Hanako. Make eye contact momentarily before she looks down and stares very hard at her desk. So my car needs to, the rear tires replaced. The headlights stopped working last night. The front left headlight. My heating has not been working since last year, and they're finally taking a look at that. And my windshield washer was not pumping out the windshield wiper fluid, and it's because the tubes went bad, so they had to replace those too. Oh, and I needed an oil change. And I was figuring, like, I'm going to do all this at once. Like, I'm getting out of the way. Okay. Did she spill the beans? Muto may be okay as far as teachers go, but underage drinking on campus is not exactly something that would be taken lightly. I looked at him with some trepidation. Feeling better today. Are you only exclusive to Twitch, Luca? I don't know. Do you show up on Monday on YouTube when I do Nekopara? Yeah, thank you. He motions for me to take my seat. My legs feel like sticks as he carried me there. This is going to be a long day. As soon as the lunch bell rings, I'm on my way to Hanako's desk to ask her what's going on. Hanako, did you tell... She looks at me and shakes her head. That's a big relief. Our little secret. It's just... Just? Well, hello there, Hee-chan. It's nice to see you again today. Oh, look at these peoples. I grimace and turn towards the unmistakable voice coming from behind me. I was way too upbeat a tone to feel comfortable, even for Misha. Your phone finally lives? Yay! Tom, please don't yeet your phone. But yeah, seriously, but seriously, guys, if you have a suggestion of a good mouse I can use for my desktop, preferably less than $100, Yeah, like message me, DM me, hit me up on Discord, leave a comment on YouTube. I don't know. I don't care where you put it, but just find a way so I know. All right. Grimacing turned toward the unmistakable voice coming from behind me. That was way too upbeat a tone of voice to feel comfortable, even from Misha. Misha's happy smile is nothing out of the usual. Choosing it as though is a very bad sign. The one she wears has become notched into my brain as her "I've got you 7 ways from Sunday" smile. DM me on Twitter. Yeah, there you go. You'll get an army of people looking for a mouse for me. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. It doesn't have to be that crazy, all right? The sooner the better. Even if it's something simple, like you'd be like, just get another Logitech mouse. I'm like, oh. Like, you'll slide into my DMs with an answer. Oh, thank you. Just put some paduro into my mouse. Fair. Don't send nudes, guys. No, but seriously, if you're going to send nudes, only 2D ones. I don't want any real people in my DMs. I want things to slide into my DMs that are funny. So if you send me memes, send me 2D wifeys, I'm okay with that. By the way, the only dick pics I send are of Dick Tracy. If you don't know who that is, look it up. It is not porn. It is a detective. And they're the only dick pics I approve of. Misha's happy smile is nothing out of you. Okay, well, I read this. Hi, she said, Misha. You look happy to see me. She's gonna say, huh? Not feeling well yesterday, He-chan. Gotta return a Christmas gift. No, I wasn't. I'm feeling better now, at least. No dragon dildos? Yeah, I'm not gonna use it. So, getting me a dragon dildo will be out of the picture. I mean, I know a few friends who would want one, but that's kind of weird. You know, like how weird is it? Be like, hey, so my friend gave me a dragon dildo, but since I don't use dildos because I'm straight, I know you wanted one, so here you go, friend. Like that just be weird, you know? No, I wasn't. I'm feeling better now, at least. Ah, that's good to know, He-chan. You bought your friend nipple clamps. You only send a dragon dildo as a joke gift? Dude, I sent what game was it? Honey Pop to people as a gift. I'm like, remember to think of me as you play this game. As a both as a joke and with sincerity. It went over very well. It was a very good troll in my opinion. It's not weird if you do it with a smile. I'm not so sure about that. Why do I get the feeling that Shizune is leading me into a trap? Sound like you're not being completely serious. You never did, Tom? That's fair. Oh, you're back, Luca? Yay! Hopefully the lag has been defeated. Oh no, He-chan. We're genuinely pleased that you're all better now. She is positively overflowing with happiness. There's only one reason why she would be like this. Oh no. In fact, we were quite worried about you after all. You, Hanako, and Lily were all absent from class on the same day. Yep, she's got us. So thoroughly that all I can do is sigh in defeat. No, Tom! Not the lag. As you're boning these girls, make sure you think of me. Sounds like a Christmas card. And the best plushie after all. Is Misha implying something here? Yeah, she's got us. I guess you have your own theories about this. Could you just kind of not tell anyone? It's a bit late for that, Hee-chan. Oh no, mission failed. We'll get him next time. You guys saw the... Guys. Please don't make your Christmas card. Is that what your Christmas card is? Please think of me as you fap to these 2D wifeys. That's a weird Christmas card, I'm not gonna lie. I suppose she's right, considering the looks I got as I entered class. Still, things only seem to be at the level of vague suspicion rather than outright accusations. So, we'll probably be fine. Do I want a Christmas card? I'll be honest. If you send me a Christmas card, I will save it forever. I save every Christmas card, every Christmas card or birthday card or holiday card I get. I have a nice little stack of them that I save because, you know, I think it's a really kind gesture. Like, people go, "Oh, cards are really..." I'm like, cards are great because people don't give you cards anymore. So I save all mine. So if you do send me one, Polaroid 2D wifeys. Oh man. Yeah, so no, if people send me cards, I'll take them. Granted, no one should know where I live. Hanako's face sinks a little further. Such attention is troublesome enough for me, let alone for her. Going by Shizen and Misha's reactions, I think they noticed this as well. Dumbest Christmas card comment ever? What is Luca? Oh yeah, you can send me a card via Twitter. That's true. The only reason why we're giving you such a hard time is that you ignored us yesterday morning! For the sake of privacy. You know, one day when I'm bigger, I can afford a P.O. box. Then we'll talk. We'll talk. At this interview of MySpace. Sorry, my MySpace is a dead anime girl, so rude. Also, good luck finding it. Yesterday morning. Takes a while to recollect what happened then, given the haze induced by the generally awful state I was in at the time. Oh right, the knocking. That was you two? How much is a P.O. box? I have no idea, actually. I'm not gonna lie, I have no idea how much a P.O. box is. I just know that if I got one, it had to be closer to my workplace, because I would never be able to get to it. Oh my god. Hey, I'm getting through dialogue as quickly as I can, Tom. Honest. I don't know what you're talking about, alright? We're just... like an anime fan on prom night. I'm not gonna lie, I actually don't know how much a P.O. box is. I would have to get quotes. She didn't look annoyed. Okay. It was! And you left us there for ages after we'd taken all the effort of coming to your dormitory early in the morning! Stall him, no! Don't be able to try blank, fill in the blank. Actually, that'd be great. Sorry, I was having a problem with nausea. They're not buying it. I can't blame them. Her head drops in resignation before she reaches into her pocket. Something white and yellow can be seen sticking out a little. And as she pulls it out, it turns out to be an envelope with very bright decorations on it. Oh, with very bright decorations on it. Since she points it toward me, I duly take it. I cannot read Japanese, so I hope that the game will translate that for me. Dude, it doesn't matter, man. I overslept this morning already. I've had full AP all day in Fate Grand Order. If we hit Solomon's, if we hit the update time, I don't care. What are your old British yet? Ah, yes. I shall duly take this letter into my possession. This is what we were trying so hard to give you, Hee-chan. You don't check your... I tune out the sound of Misha's voice as my eyes register what's written on the envelope. Uh-oh. Iwanako. Stare at the envelope for a moment before suddenly remembering that there are people around me. Updates at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So in like 3.5 hours. There's no updates. There is a very strange, somewhat invasive feeling about their expressions. Kind of want to be alone right now. I'm gonna have a bad time. Oh my god, if Megalovania started playing, I'd just die. Like, no more sounds, boss fights. 9 hours! Hanako. It's nothing. Thank you for bringing me this, you two. I should think so. After what we went through to get it to you. They made that joke in Smash Homes. That's a good game. Kind of tired now. Step back and say my goodbyes. Misha theatrically pouts even as I go out the door. But Shizune and Hanako remain very visibly curious about my reaction. Hope they won't interrogate me on this later. We need this stream to be longer than the game. The smell of the gardens is, as always, a very pleasant sensation. Some of the most visible signs of how well funded this school is, aside from its sheer size, are the expanse and condition of the grounds. Just that fight? Oh my god. That fight was 9 hours of my life, guys. Check it. Look at YouTube. The video is literally called, what is it called? 9 hours on why Undertale is a bad game? Something like that. Yo! I heard Soulja Boy is getting pressed, Soulja Boy got arrested. Some the Yeet plush? Yo, I am the Yeet plush. I throw myself into battle. Yeet! A good number of students can be seen eating lunch, chatting, and playing on bright green lawns. Even some of the staff is enjoying the summer here, keeping watch over the students and idly walking along the long concrete paths. I've never seen a light like this in my home city. On excursions, maybe, but certainly never in the school or anywhere near where I lived. Even the bench I sit on to read is warmer thanks to the summertime sun. You know, we're in the middle of winter here in the northern hemisphere. Just saying. It's coming. It's coming soon. Reminding me of why I haven't worn the school blazer even once yet. Your job's not eager to pay you, Uni? Well, punch him in the gut. Summon waifu Quetzi? Well, Tom, you can do that. Yo, I like his star though. See what plushies? You have a Donkey Kong plushie as a tree topper? Yo, that's awesome. Yo, DK climbing the Christmas tree for Christmas. It's a Merry Christmas in my book. Considering this, the sunflowers and splashes of vibrant yellow coloring adorning the paper are quite appropriate for the time. If only the words written on it were as well. Here I was thinking I managed to get over her when this troublesome thing shows up. Her handwriting looks vaguely familiar at best, and only now that I see it again, I remember that she used to write in pink pen a lot. She was always very girly, for lack of a better term. Oh, Sir Isaac Newton. Well, if he falls, he'll discover gravity. But she was also quite fragile. I never knew if I liked this aspect of her or not, though with the arrival of this letter, that question seems to have become largely moot. The letter begins with not much more than an update on the state of things going on in her life. My old class had a good start to the school year. Many are anxious about the exams that will be coming up in the future, etc., etc. Yeah, 1.21 gigawatts! Yeah, Monster Musume playmat. Yo! Tom, send me a picture. Dude, who doesn't have a shrine to Nepgear? Wait, not everybody? What? But it ends on a very personal, if brief note. It feels a bit like she wrote most of the letter just to try and soften the blow from the ending. I wanted to somehow express my feelings, but the right words didn't come to me. Couldn't say anything to comfort you. I'm really sorry for not being able to support you when it mattered the most, even though I like you so much. At least now, finally, I can be more honest. Oh, Nip, get him! It's okay. I actually was trying to get a customized Neuro playmat for like $50. Unfortunately, the person who works on it is really slow, and my friend who was getting the order done for me is like, "Fuck that guy." Yo, I would spend $40 on a Majora's Mask playmat of the moon, of the Termina moon, and throw it at people and be like, "Dawn of the final day, bitch!" And I'd probably get disqualified for various reasons. If I could go back to those quiet days in February and March, tell you to not give up on yourself. That's what I would say. Maybe you wouldn't have drifted so far away if I had just said something. I hope you've managed to get back on your feet on your own. Playmat is, think of like a mouse pad, but for like card games. So basically, like, you know, when you play like card games like Yu-Gi-Mons or Pokios or Magic the Gatherings or Force of Wills, etc. To protect your cards, you use a playmat so they don't scratch on surfaces and stuff. It's basically that's what they're for. Now, with that said, because you don't want to just use a nice felt mat. That's it's very nice. It reduces like scratches and dings from like cardboard. You get ones with pictures on it and stuff, so it looks nice. Yes, use it with a combination of card sleeves. Yeah, no, Uni, we have all those too, and then you on top of that have playmats. Yep, card gamers protect their cardboard more than they do their internet security. They protect their cardboard more than they do their wallets. Yeah, it's redundant. You want a Kirby playmat that has Kirby sucking and trading cards? Cool. Now that the distance between us is also physical, it also feels more final somehow. I wonder if we will meet again. Perhaps it's for the best if we don't. Still, if you would like to correspond with me, by all means write me back. I'd very much like to hear about your new school and how you are doing. Wish you all the best. Sincerely, Iwanako. Yo! This Iwanako is... You get the power of main protagonist at your disposal? Uh-oh. It's like a statement piece. You know what? Sometimes it is. That's actually very true. The only thing you protect... Oh yeah, also, once you get like really nice playmats that cost you money, then you start getting like cases for the playmats on top of that. So it's like I need to protect this cardboard, but let me get really nice card sleeves to protect my cardboard. But now I have to protect my card sleeves, so I get over sleeves to protect my card sleeves. But I have nice over sleeves too, so I get a deck box to protect my card over sleeves that are protecting my card sleeves that are protecting my cardboard. And I put that in a nice foam little like holder, and just in case, I'll get a playmat to also help protect these card sleeves. Except I now have a really nice playmat, so I get like a playmat tube or a playmat box to protect my playmat that I'm putting in my little felt carrying case. It's, trust me, card gamers like us are weird. It is very redundant. Tammy good, but wife better. Oh, Raiko. Tom does like his Raiko. It's true, he likes his mama Raiko. And so that's that. Our relationship is over. Nice, neat, and tidy, with no ambiguity. I hadn't held on to any illusions that I could have ever begin anew. The last time she visited me, neither of us said a thing, except for the one word she said as she left for the last time. Goodbye. Don't worry, Uni. When I ever can afford and make the trip out to your side of the pond over there, I'll bring an example of the craziness that is card games. I'll bring like my bag that has my playmat in a tube, with the card sleeves. I'll show you. It's really funny actually. Be that as it may, this feels more final. A capstone on an experiment that both of us tried and failed at. A loud shout draws my eyes away from the letter. It's just some students horsing around. It's one of the teachers standing nearby coming over to talk to them. Are you okay? Oh, it's Yuko. I wasn't sure who it was. A tentative voice comes from my side. For a moment I assume it to be Hanako, but it's actually Yuko. Ah, lag, no. Oh, hello Yuko. I thought you'd be in the library. She gives a cheerful smile, one quite fitting the atmosphere, and flourishes the empty wrapper of a roll in her hand. She must have someone else covering for her while she grabs something to eat. Reminds me that I haven't had anything to eat yet. I don't feel hungry though. Skipping one lunch won't hurt. Yo, meanwhile I have some lamb over rice from the city. From my city, I say from the city, but I mean specifically from Manhattan. And from a specific food stall in Manhattan. Mind if I sit here? Sure, go ahead. Screw the rules. Screw the rules. I have money. Basically. I quickly slide the letter back into its envelope, slipping it inside my bag propped against the side of the bench as Yuko takes a seat. She drops the wrapper into a bin beside us. Credit card trading card game. Without much else to do, I lean back and take what enjoyment I can from the sun, silently reflecting on the letter. The lush lawn to clear blue skies. Everything looks so different from the way it did back then. Even the school surroundings, from the hill it's on into the woods around it, are completely opposite to the urban scenery I remember. Actually, you know what's funny? One of my friends asked if I would ever play Magic the Gathering again because they wanted me to enter modern tournaments and stuff. And I priced out what my modern deck costs now, and it costs like $600. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not playing this game anymore. I originally built this for $200, but it's like one of the best decks I built, and it's probably the best deck I built for modern ever. I've never lost with it after I completed it, so, and that was like for like years of playing. Yeah, card games are expensive, you know. Maybe this is what it's like to feel homesick. Then again, it's not an outright bad sensation. The feeling of the area around Yamaku, while very different, is also nice. I think I could get used to it. Hey, Hisao. Yeah? You didn't answer my question from before. I wasn't going to say anything, but you still look troubled. Christmas gifts, huh? Well, someone would pay for them then. If you don't want to say anything, though, that's okay. I don't mind at all. So sorry for asking something strange like that. I don't mind. It's just, I got a letter from someone I knew before I came to Yamaku. Made me think about things. Thought I managed to get over most of the problems that my accident caused. But now, I'm not really so sure. Kinda wish I'd never seen it. I'm not jelly of any ash blossoms. I don't even know what the card is. Bam! Dropped. Because I don't play Yu-Gi-Oh! That's actually true. I don't. Hey, Tom, you said something about Bermuda Triangle players? Yo, you're talking shit about my mermaid wifeys? I'm kidding, they're not my wifeys. I'm just a producer. I'm the producer there to put on a show and win. You have a Yu-Gi-Oh meme? Yo, memes are great. Memes keep me alive. I don't think that's good, Hisao. When my boyfriend left me, he did so very suddenly, and never let me know why. At first I was very depressed about it, but I decided to forgive him. You forgave him? Couldn't he at least have talked properly with you about it? Are you implying I'm a pedo, Tom? Also plays Marina? Sent it to me? Great, I'll look at it later. You forgave him. Okay. He was always one of those people that found it difficult to come close to others. Oh. He sounds like an asshole. He sounds like me. That's literally... You know what? I feel really bad now. I feel bad. IRL experience. I'm terrible boyfriend material. Like, I could do, like, all the things that you'd want in a boyfriend, but if it comes to communication, I'm, like, the worst. Like, don't ever expect me to be real with my feelings. Real talk, I'm not a real person. like, literally everything out of my mouth is sarcasm and memes. So, you know. In the end, I decided that I fell in love with him for a reason. He was a good person, and I think that if I had been in his position, I would probably have found it just as hard to try and talk to him. I don't really see the connection to the letter I got. I have a plushie, I have an excuse. I mean, that's fair. I'm a licensed plushie, though. I mean that, how should I put this? It must have been very hard for that person to send that letter. And if they did, I think they must have thought very hard about exactly what to say. Oh man, Tom. Speaking of Angel Feather, I got to play with the new set cards. Yo, Angel Feather, legit, legitly lots of fun. I just sat there going, wait, I can have like all the, I can do all this. It was fun times, man. Oh, you're saying I'm Kazumi? I'm related to the Kazumi Yuji and Kazumi So I'm related to Yuji and them? Should I send handwrite? You know what? I can handwrite letters on my end. Hasn't finished building it. Yeah, I built it. Tom, if you want to see a temp build, like, I'll send you mine later. All right. VR. Hanako managed to write this letter and bring a final close to our relationship, something I never managed to do. Whereas here I am, trying to protect and help Hanako as best I can, especially with Lily leaving for a while, and I'm not even able to deal with my own problems. Does that make sense? She's taking my non-response and furrowed brow as doubt. She really reads faces too much, just like a certain other person. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, Tom, I know you were saying how the lack of Yuko route is very frustrating. I could see it right here. That was very good. That was very good insight for Yuko. She's went up a few notches in my book of, yo, she's a pretty cool character. Yo, Dark Magician Girl for life. The letter was just kind of a shock, really. I think I tried to fool myself into thinking Oh. Thank you. Okay. My microphone, for some reason, I must have knocked some... Oh, you know why? I probably knocked a... I knocked a wire. I knocked a wire. That was... Okay, sorry for the random nightmare fuel, guys. We're back in business, okay? Okay. It's fine. It's fine. Well, that was pretty like what the hell. Chipmunk Fan Arcade 2K. Oh man, I have no idea what I started sounding like. It's fine. I think being able to talk with you helped me get things sorted out a bit better in my head. So thank you anyway. She nods and smiles sweetly. Yuko is a nice girl, one that Tom wished there was a route for. So it's a shame she's so highly strung so often. School bell ringing out startles us both. Ah! I was supposed to be back before the bell. Oops. She jumps off the bench and almost races off without a second word. Turns her heel as she remembers she was talking to me just now. I'll see you later, Isao. Cheer up, okay? I'll try to. Thanks, Yuko. With a quick bow, Yuko takes her leave and begins her rush to the library. Her flight catches the curious eyes of a few passing students, who are unenthusiastically trudging back to their classes after their fun. Reluctantly standing from the bench, I dust myself off and join them. Even while I walk through the gardens back to the main building, the thought of the letter in my bag doesn't stray far from my mind. You're alive? Hopefully we're all alive again, guys. Katawa Shoujo. The feeling of walking through the streets is one of very deep nostalgia. While Yamaku may be like the reverse of where I lived in the past, the city at night is amazingly familiar. My eyes are moving constantly from the bright electronic screens glowing high in the night sky, to the street lamps piercing the darkness with their light, the businessmen enjoying themselves after work, and the busily talking couples on dates. Even if I didn't want to, I can't help soaking in every aspect of the city. I savor its familiarity like a sweet candy sitting on my tongue. Lily is walking to my left, with her cane swaying to and fro, holding onto her sister's arm for guidance while talking to her. And her sister's making that weird face. Compared to traveling by taxi or bus, being driven by Akira in a rather nice car was a much more enjoyable experience. Ooh, even Hanako's dressed up. Hey. Maybe not for the person on my right, though. Lily was used to her sister's driving style, and I quite liked a bit of excitement. Hanako was holding very tightly to the door for most of the trip. Everything looks so pretty at night. Hanako quickly looks down yet again as she accidentally catches someone's gaze. Yeah, it does. My answer isn't very thoughtful, since I'm distracted by so many thoughts I find it hard to keep up on small talk. One of those distractions aside from the city sights is how Hanako looks. It's the first time I've seen her in something other than her school uniform or her pajamas. It gave me pause when I first saw her outfit, when we met up at the school gate. What happened to Hanako? She was involved in a fire, and she survived. And we're not quite sure what else happened. King, if you want to get timed out by Tom, that's how you get timed out by Tom, okay? Find out with us. Oh, are you implying, Tom, that we're actually defining? Uh-oh. We should do 5-second timeouts for funsies, guys. Anyway, that's just a suggestion. That's actually Lily's older sister, Akira. According to some sources, apparently that's me. So I am a older sister. I don't know. It's just a face, okay? Considering how much her head is lower when people walk near us, I imagine that the hat she wears is more than a fashion statement. That is anime, leave him be. While initially I was worried of Lily's plan to take us out into the city, when night fell, it became obvious she had thought about this. Not many people have paid Hanako much heed since the darkness hides her scarring well. So we're in the city. Any ideas on what to do? Akira beams a smile. Something tells me that she's the one who is making this particular decision. Even if her sister may have proposed the outing in the first place. You'll see. Just follow us. Akira is literally just me, a little bit more high-pitched. I nod and try my best to stifle a grimace. For what happened during Hanako's birthday party, I don't trust Akira's judgment all that much. Hey! 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 Sal! Sal! Well, bitch. Bought that wine for you, piece of shit. Went upstairs to get a cookie, and now you're confuzzled. We're rolling around at the speed of sound. We got places to go. Just gotta follow along with Hisao. Can't stick around. We're gonna keep going on. Well, what lies ahead? Only one way to find out. Keep walking, and I notice that we're passing more and more cafes, restaurants, and other eateries. Every once in a while, a drunken man in a suit comes out of a bar, usually being supported by another. But for the most part, the customers around this part of the city look young and fashionable. Different kinds of music come and go as we pass by each business. The discord created by the overlaps should be grating, but it reminds me so strongly of the times I spent in the city with my old friends that I don't mind. No, we're following Hisao. Hanako and I have started to drift a little apart from Lily and Akira. That comes to a stop when I hear a soft thud from beside me. Sorry. By the time she rights herself from an apologetic bow, the middle-aged businessman she bumped into is walking away after mumbling a half-hearted apology. Hanako looks a little put off by the experience, and as she quickly skips ahead to match my pace, I notice her head hanging low once more. She probably bumped into him because she was looking downward and not where she was going. I stepped to the side a little and put one hand on her far shoulder, drawing her closer. Hisao? It's okay. You can walk closer to me if you want. No, you can't die, Tom. Sorry. Illegal. Illegal! Illegal! There's a rule. They call it Jake's rule. My friend Jake. It's literally said, no dying. And that's the rule. That's it. That's it. No dying. So if you know me, no dying. Hanako hesitates but eventually nods in assent. For a couple of times when I thought we had arrived at Akira's destination, we reached our target, but now we're below the elevated walkways and past the most garish and brightly lit places. I'm a bit surprised. The average age of those around us is distinctly older. The smell of cigarette smoke is pretty thick. The area is far from seedy though. It's a little amusing to see Lily's reaction to the smell of the smoke. I do see the irony that the punishment for trying to commit suicide is death, though. While it's masked by the low talking of those around us, jazz music can be heard emanating from inside. Looking up at the dimly lit sign, it becomes obvious why. It's okay, if you're not physically dead, you can re-spark that spark of life. The jazz club. I have to admit, this isn't what I expected. I mean, have you heard the smooth background music you saw? Oh no, you didn't. You're a character in the... How many C's thick is it? So much thick smoke will cause cancer. That's the only C. I'm sorry. Lily gives an amused snort and a smile. Somehow, I feel like I should have known it, Akira. As we talk outside, I notice more and more odd sideways glances directed our way. People awkwardly catch themselves staring and look away, but that just makes it more obvious. I notice this occasionally when we're walking, but it's more pronounced now. Never experienced anything like that in my life. An average-looking Japanese teenage guy, just a little taller than normal, isn't the type to draw attention without making an effort. Hey! Come on! Just because we're teenagers doesn't mean you can't have a taste, right? Well, I don't really mind the music, if that's what you mean. I don't mind this either. It's only just managed to force the words out. Contrasts heavily to when we're alone in Yamaku. It disappoints me a little that she's so highly strung for what's supposed to be a good time out on the town. It's hard to read Hanako's face as she keeps looking downwards. It's a little wonder she doesn't often come out into the city because of this. It makes me a little thankful that my own scarring is easily hidden. Lily has a similar way of attracting people's gazes. The reason for it is clearly different. She hardly looks like a native. The same can be said for her sister. That much is far more noticeable than her blindness from a distance. She may not be able to see this for herself, but I have little doubt she could hear the odd whispered phrase from people who think they're out of earshot. She's JoJo posing. JoJo! Red Velvet. Be that as it may, she doesn't seem to show any sign of either annoyance or pleasure at the attention. Kira still as confident as ever, though. Flashing a smile, she strides in with Lily at her side, and the two of us follow behind. I expected my eyes to need adjusting to the light inside. It's not much brighter than outside. The music we'd heard is clearer now, mixed in with the sound of glasses moving on the tables and counter, the husky chatter of the patrons. Look to my right reveals the music source, a jazz group playing beyond some tables. Yo, that's the best. The patrons seem to be mostly men, and though there is a handful of women, nobody looks under 30, aside from us, of course. Feels a little like we stepped into the 1920s. The atmosphere is quite agreeable. I'm not completely comfortable simply because of my age, but were I older, I would probably feel quite at home. Hanako seems a bit more relaxed now, probably due to nobody looking at her. Everybody's talking between themselves, drinking or watching the band. Kira casually takes a seat at the counter without even glancing around. She's probably come here before. Oh, this is the best song in the soundtrack? Nice. Lily retracts her cane, feeling out of the bar stool on the edge of the counter before taking a seat beside her sister. The bartender takes a brief break from polishing a glass to watch her, putting it down and coming over. Good evening, ladies. What'll it be? Just a scotch. Thanks, Lily. Just a scotch, thanks, Lily. May I have a glass of champagne? A black suited elbow hits her side sharply. Orange juice, please. Oh, she's asked for a glass of champagne. No problem. Coming right up. The bartender starts to pour their drinks. A couple of seconds pass before Akira suddenly remembers that Hanako are indeed here and turns around to us. Do you want anything, or are you just gonna stand there? Hanako seems to be getting a bit restless. No matter where we're going to seat ourselves, there's going to be people right next to her. I don't think she looks convincingly older than 20, unlike Lily. Have a bottle? Don't no, sorry, Tom. Orange juice for you. Looking around, there's a game section to our right. A couple of billiards tables can be seen in the corner. Nobody's using them either. Glanced at Hanako, about to ask her if she liked to play, but she's already looking longingly in the same direction. Maybe it says something that we can get by with so few words nowadays. Okay, so time out for 24 seconds. How's that sound? I think it's a good what's the word called? Compromise? No attack the waifus? Come on. If Code were here, he'd say all waifus are trash. Shot a fireball. Wow, cinnamon whiskey, man. We'll go play pool over there. Kira leans back to see past me before shrugging and sitting back up. It seems you'll have to put up with only me for company. How unfortunate. Have fun, you two. Turn and set off for the abandoned corner with Hanako taking the lead. The prospect of a nice quiet game away from everyone makes her walk noticeably faster. Eyes stay firmly fixed on her prize. The table is full size and well lit despite the surrounding darkness, thanks to the bright overhead lights. A huge painting of something covers the wall. No permaban. There are many people milling about this corner of the club, and I can see Hanako becoming a little less tense as a result. You know how to play? No expert, but yeah, I do. Then, 8 ball. Sure. Hanako gets the chalk and the 2 cues from a set of hooks against one of the walls, while I fetch the balls from the table's pockets and grab the rack from a shelf underneath. Resin Ebel. She patiently waits as I get the table set up. We're sliding the final ball into the rack and doing some last adjustments, and I'm having to fight my perfectionist urges in getting the bottom row of balls exactly perpendicular with the edges. The ball's arranged and ready for play. I step back and take my cue from her outstretched arm. I carry out a quick inspection of the tip before I'm satisfied that it's in good condition. So basically, you order a shot of Fireball in cosplay. I mean, I do that. I would do that. So you played before? Once or twice. I just kind of know the rules. The air between us feels a little awkward. Still pretty nervous, understandably, given that we're in public. Eventually, the silence becomes too much, even for Hanako, and she begins to quietly stammer. Who'll break? I think for a moment for reaching into my pocket and drawing a coin. I'll take heads, your tails. For a nod of agreement from Hanako, I flick the coin up in the air, catch it and flip it over onto the back of my left hand. So it's you that gets to break. Hanako nods again before taking up her position at the end of the table. Hey! She's not usually this quiet around me, but I'm not wholly sure if it's because of the tidbit of information about her past that slipped out moments ago. The cue comes back in a practiced gesture before smacking dead in the center of the cue ball with a thud. The white ball skates across the smoothly green expanse before smashing into the carefully arranged balls at the other end. Balls skitter across the table at high speed. The break was good, with the balls being nicely distributed around the table. My eyes are already flicking from one to another to pick out the easiest candidate's to pocket. Hanako retreats from the side and I take my shot. Well done. It's only after Hanako says this that I realize the ball I was shooting at was sunk. Look at her and notice a small smile on her face. It's nice how playing games seems to loosen up her a little. They're gonna come to a duel more like at the rate. Guess I'm stripes then. Take a step back and let her take the next shot. She doesn't advance to the table, rather she looks down a little and rubs her arm. Now I can identify this as one of her gestures that mean she wants to say something but isn't sure enough of herself to do it. What's up? No calling wifey's trash? Oh, I mean that's fair. It's just you had a nice smile. Do you like playing this? I sigh and lean back against the table. I like playing, yeah. I think I was smiling because it's really nostalgic, though. Hanako tilts her head quizzically. Should be a card fight? No. You have to play a buddy fight. You have to, raise the banner, I think it is. Me and my friends used to play pool in the game centers near where we lived pretty often. And at night, too. Wouldn't you, parents? Parents both worked, so they didn't mind me not being in the house. Stayed on top of schoolwork pretty easily as well, so it was plenty of time to do other stuff at night. A real duel? Fencing? Yo, I'm actually ambidextrous. I'm actually an ambidextrous fencer. So I don't think any of us are gonna be on the same page about this duel, guys. I still propose fencing. I'm not saying it because I'm an excellent fencer. It just happens to be that I'm good at fencing. but I think fencing is good. Yeah, I'm a terrible shot with guns. Firearms are not my forte. They're not my forte. Nope, it's not a mutual decision, right? Conversation dies down. Alright, guys. Let's all agree we should just enjoy some Katawa Shoujo instead. The conversation dies down, with Hanako's timidity getting the better of her. In response, I get off the table and let her take her turn shooting. There aren't many solids in easy position, so Hanako bends down and takes a while to line herself up properly. Oh, is that... Oh, yeah, that's right. That's how, like, the formal duel goes, right? The person who's challenged decides the weapons. Smash Brothers Brawl? With items on? It's a very strange thing. Oh, really? I call them stripes and solids. You call them spots? Hanako's expression is the same as when we play chess. Relaxed but focused concentration. Athletes sometimes talk about getting into a zone where nothing unnecessary enters their mind. I wonder if that's something she can do. Spots and stripes. Interesting. I didn't know that. Like, I call them solids. I actually don't know what to call them in, Actually, we only refer to the stripes, I think. Oh, whatever. The posture is good. Better than mine, to be sure. It's very close to a textbook method of playing, whereas I tend to contort myself into whatever position I feel is most natural for the shot I'm taking. She lines up the cue. The cue comes back, and she does a couple of practice movements to make sure she's lined up correctly. Hanako takes games so seriously. It's the only real hobby I know she has outside reading. Feels good to be able to share this kind of experience with her. She takes a shot after careful consideration. Cue ball zooms off toward a ball sitting at a slightly awkward angle near her corner. Hanako's careful preparation pays off as the cue ball hits and sends the ball rolling toward the corner pocket. For a moment it looks like it'll stop, just on the lip of the hole, but eventually tilts just enough to drop in. Interesting. Man, that was a hard shot. If you can pull that off, I don't think I have much hope. I'm not that good. It's not just your shot, though. Even when lining it up, you looked really serious. You're like this with chess, too. The praise makes her a little flustered. She sets the cue against the table and stands turning to me. I just like those kinds of things. Fingers are twisting and turning tightly. When I was in an orphanage, I just kept doing the things I liked before. If I played games with the others, that was enough for the helpers there, so... Never thought about it that way. Staff at an orphanage would naturally want to have everyone socialize at least a little. I'm glad you guys came to an accord there. It's okay for me to ask. What was it like for you at the orphanage? Why do you want to know? I've touched a nerve, but the fact that she responded at all shows that at least a chance she'll answer my question. Before, she likely would have just shrunk away from it without a word. King, we're not talking about Donkey Kong. I'll tell you, but could you tell me who Iwanako is? Iwanako? Oh, the letter. Wonder how long she's been waiting for the right opportunity to ask me this. I'm surprised, but don't hesitate. Sharing information is naturally a matter of give and take. She's someone I used to like. Her nervousness subsided, at least for the time it took to ask. Her curiosity is getting the better of her. I feel a bit uncomfortable to be questioned on this, of all matters. There's no way I could spill out all my feelings about Hanako here. I don't even know myself what my feelings regarding her are, even after talking to Yuko earlier, and I went to avoid the subject around Hanako. Hanako doesn't look overly satisfied with the awkward ending to the discussion, but thinks better of continuing it. She's only just managed to ask me in the first place without knowing that I wouldn't want to talk about it. I moved to finally take my own shot. The lack of talking between us is filled by the chatter of other patrons and the band at the other end of the club. Spying a shot that doesn't look too difficult, I try and shoot for it. Cue ball taps the ball and the trajectory is about right. I put in too much power, grazed the corner of the hole and moves off to the side, just skirting the pocket. Ooh, bad. I grit my teeth a little. I was pretty good at this game, and it's frustrating to have deteriorated so much. I step back and let Hanako take her turn, glancing towards the counter where Lily and Akira are sitting, talking busily between themselves and seem to be having a good time. Holy crap! Really? Sapphire's that bad? Oh man. I turn back to Hanako as she takes her shot. Same face as before, she lines herself up and sharply pushes the cue. Just as before, she sinks the ball she was aiming for. Drops into the side pocket more cleanly than her last though. Looks as if she's getting a bit more into the groove of the game. Nicely done. She hesitates for a moment and begins to address me without turning her head. The orphanage was nice. It felt a bit like Yamaku does. The staff was really kind. But as the years went on, I realized something. I was different. It feels strange to hear her speak so candidly about herself. She's audibly forcing the words out. Reminds me of when she insists she tell me about the fire. Hanako must feel that she has to tell me of such things if I'm willing to tell her about my own past. Her grip on the cue tightens as she continues to speak. Most of the children there were up for adoption just like I was, but unlike me, they gradually left, one by one. By the time I went to Yamaku, I was among the oldest children there. Actually, Norwich and Alabama is a pretty good comparison. The Norwich family. Is that to the Addams Family tune? Oh my god. For a while, I helped with some of the younger children, but eventually. Lay a hand on her shoulder. She's forcing herself by now. It's okay. She looks mildly surprised for a moment, then nods for setting down her cue and turning towards me. Do you really think so? Yeah, I think so. While Lily's away, I'll be around to protect you, right? Yeah, but you know, Norwich has good tea. I'm not saying much. Hanako looks at me for a long time and I'm taken a bit off guard. Her expression hasn't changed from before, still looking somewhat maudlin, and silences between us aren't unusual. I think it's the fact that she's holding such a prolonged eye contact that makes this feel a bit odd. Feels as if she's judging me. It's a very strange, vaguely uncomfortable feeling. Hanako? I understand. Thank you. Yo, you could like both types of teas, you know? So UK, of course, has good tea. Yeah, I mean, like, you know, that is true. She smiles and looks away a little, but it feels stilted. Hanako isn't very good at faking emotions, and this is no exception. I move to the table and take my turn to try and distract myself, but it doesn't seem to work. Does she think I'm not up to the task of helping her? She disappointed in me? Probably overthinking this. While her silences are just an accepted fact of life now, sometimes I do wish she'd speak more. Iced tea is bad, Civ? Yo, Tom. A refreshing iced tea on a hot summer day is pretty decent. And in New York, you could do it like on the beach or something. There's beaches. They're not as good as like California beaches, but we have beaches. You could actually divide up most countries into stereotypes. Ireland, King. Germany has great beer. I wouldn't say Ireland's known for their beer. I'd say Germany is. Yeah, no racism, Tom, obviously. Probably overthinking this. While they're silent, okay, yeah. With a thud, I send the white sphere careening down the table into my target. Hanako sees what's happening just as I do. The ball hits hard with the striped ball I'd intend to sink veering off toward the 8-ball. Sure enough, as both Hanako and I look on and bite our lips, the connect and the black ball rolls leisurely into a corner pocket. All I can do is sigh. It looks like Hanako is smiling again though, so maybe it wasn't for naught. That was an awful shot. You win. It's became pretty rusty after all this time. Hanako bends down and begins to shoot the remaining balls into closest pockets. I almost asked if we could play another game. A quick check on my watch confirms that the night is getting pretty late. Lily and Akira appear to be still drinking at the counter, so we'll have to drag them away. Hisao. Turn back to Hanako, who's still looking over the pool table shooting balls. Her voice sounds different from before. I'm here for you as well. Oh, that's what... Oh, okay. Brighton sounds like a festive place then. Yo, Irish whiskey's pretty good. There you go. Suddenly find myself blushing. It's only natural that she respond this way, given what I said earlier, but still a shock to actually hear it. Just what is my relationship with this girl? I want to protect her, to make her happy. I'm not really sure that it's something like love. I don't think these are the same kind of feelings I have for Lily either. I feel sorry for her, having gone through so much in her life. Her parents died in a house fire. She lived in an orphanage for much of her childhood. Can't even imagine that kind of life. Good to uni in Brighton? Awesome. I feel like there's so little I can do for her, especially now that Lily is going to be leaving the country. Hanako and I finished tidying up the table and cues, and pick up Lily and Akira on her way out of the club. Feels like something changed between Hanako and me. Can't quite place what it is, but Hanako's acting differently now. Feel like we're further apart, if anything. So, you enjoy yourselves? Had a good time? You know? Took me away from my drinking. Okay. Hanako and I both nod and agree. The game was good, and we both did learn more about each other, so it's an honest answer. Lily appears to be a little distracted. Worried about the trip, Lily? She pauses before sighing and smiling weakly. A little. It means quite a bit. The comment earns her a clap on the shoulder from her sister. Hanako smiles back too. You'll be okay, Lily. I hope you can enjoy your time over there. King, do not punch anybody in the face if you go on a trip. Tom, if King tries to punch you in the face, use self-defense to not get punched in the face so you don't have to shiv him. Okay? No violence! No fighting! Said Hanako.
Thank you, Hanako. I'll try to. It'll be nice to be back with my family after all, no matter for how brief a time it may be.
With that, the four of us begin to walk to the car park. Ah, shoot, I just hit my microphone. Walk to the car park where Akira's car is. Continue to talk between ourselves, but it's mostly just small talk. Right then, are you taking the bus, Lily? Lily motions to a large suitcase standing beside her.
I'll have to take this with me, so I've booked a taxi. It'll meet us at the school gates in about 5 minutes.
We're all friends here, hopefully. I see. Lily reaches down and feels out the handle of her suitcase. Its weight causes her some difficulty, so I quickly offer to take it myself.
That is awfully kind of you, Hisao.
She has no qualms about accepting, and I end up picking it up. It's not what I call light, but it's not exactly heavy either. I don't think I'll have too much trouble carrying it.
Well, thank you then. We should hurry though. If the taxi leaves, it will take quite a while to book a new one. Are you ready, Hanako?
Yeah, let's go. We rush to the gate as fast as we can, only to find that the taxi has yet to arrive. Well, nothing like a bit of exercise in the morning. The nurse told me that I should be doing that.
I think you probably had other things in mind, Hisao. Probably with more regularity. Do you intend to be helping people with their luggage every day?
I guess not. Looks like we've got a bit to wait anyway. How long should we wait for the taxi before calling them again?
I would say another 10 minutes, but they never let me down before. There's probably just a little traffic.
Okay then. So how long is the flight to Scotland?
About 16 hours. If I remember correctly, it's a bit hard to tell with the changing time zones.
So long. So now that I realize Hanako's been unusually quiet even for her. She doesn't handle stress well, so she's looking really uptight. Yeah, I can't imagine being on a plane for that long. Well, I can! I flew to Japan before. It's pretty far. It's British stuff. I've only ever flown on a short family holiday up north, so it really is quite hard to fathom. Hanako spent so much of her childhood at an orphanage. She's probably traveled very little, let alone flown.
It's not too bad. I'll spend most of it either asleep or catching up on my English. I hardly use that here, so I need to re-familiarize myself with it a little.
Oh, excuse me.
Will your accent be a problem? I wouldn't worry about that too much. It may be an issue initially, but I should be fine once I get used to it.
We all move to sit down on the small bench beside the school gate in silence. Strangely enough, even though I know that Lily's going away, I can't think of anything to say to her. Lily is a reliable person, so it might be because she isn't the one that I'm thinking of most. British stuff is tea and being posh. Can I be in that? Oh, yo, tea and crumpets and being a massive cunt to people? That's like me. Can I be that? Actually, no, never mind. Also, terrible food. I hear Brits can't cook. Is it bad? Tom, well, whatever, man. Tea's fine. As long as you like the tea, okay? It's a tea that's important. Very tender Walsh. Lily might not be able to see it, but Hanako's chewing her fingernails nervously. I moved to talk to her, and I skipped some dialogue. Okay, there you go. I move to talk to her, but can hear an engine straining up the hill before I get the chance. You can cook? Alright. Yo, as a New Yorker, we have awesome food like pizza, okay? Sorry, Uni. I didn't imply that you personally couldn't cook. I was just saying that there's a lot of... I hear a lot of British food is... You know. I think the taxi is on its way.
Well spotted, Hisao. I only just heard it as well.
Both, Tom. Small wave of pride washes over me. To notice something at the same time as Lily must mean that I've become more aware of my surroundings. King, I'm gonna tell you this right now. Bruh! There is no such thing as a New York style pizza place. You either have New York pizza or you don't have New York pizza. New York style pizza is not New York pizza, fam. That's all I'm gonna say, man. I'm not knocking your pizza. I haven't tried all the pizza in every state. I have tried pizza in Alabama and been disappointed though. Just putting it out there. Oh, the guy actually had a pizza place in New York? Well, then, I don't know. I would have to try it myself before I judge. So, is it? Anyway, we won't have to call the taxi company. Don't worry about missing Lily's plane. Once the taxi stops where we're standing, the driver rolls down the window and leans over. After confirming that yes, Lily is the same Lily Sato that booked the trip, we sort out her luggage. Tom. I don't want to say you could be obese and stupid because you feel like it, but you could be obese and stupid if you want to be obese and stupid, guys. You could do whatever you want. It's fine. You know, it's okay, Uni. I'm not gonna lie about the obesity problem that we Americans have, and the fact that as you know, that as an overall peoples, we might be underperforming in some places. I think worldwide there's a large stupidity problem. Sometimes lack of common sense instead of stupidity, you know. The driver opens the trunk of the taxi and takes Lily's suitcase, with Lily climbing into the back seat as he loads it into the trunk and slams it shut. Getting back into his seat and shutting the doors, he waits for us to say our farewells. Have a safe trip, Lily. Take care of yourself. Guys, I think the discussion is way too political now. Everyone should time themselves out for like a second, just to get rid of my chat. Hanako looks understandably downcast, and that much is obvious even in her voice.
Of course I will. I'll be back before long, don't worry. There will still be another person here for you too, won't there, Hisao?
Yeah, of course. I turn and smile to Hanako, putting my hand on her shoulder. She only manages to keep eye contact with me for a couple of seconds, cheeks red all the while before turning back to Lily. Alright, remember, everyone vote orange. I don't know what color or political or whatever it is that is, but orange is my favorite color, okay? I don't know if there's any orange parties out there. Let me know if there are. We'll judge them for their credentials. See you, Lily.
Goodbye.
Lily gives her farewells to the both of us with a fair measure of reluctance. Without further ado, the driver starts the engine once more, and they begin the journey down the hill and towards the airport. The
Two of us stand at the gates for a long time, even after they disappear from sight, not really knowing what to do. CPB is red and orange. So what do you want to do? I don't know. How about we drop a save point? Boom. Yeah, drop that save point. Continue. I believe I should be like, hey, let's go to the city, right? City. I think city. I don't know actually. What would Hanako feel about going to the city? You seem like a quiet weekend. Oh wait, well, okay. No, let's see. So you go into city or call it a day. I'm like, let's try to hang out with Hanako more, right? Okay, go into city. The bus stop, standing by the school gates like a mute sentinel, puts a strange idea in my mind. Hey, do you want to head into the town and look for a bookshop or something? We have the rest of the day free. It's a long shot, as Hanako doesn't like going to the city. Count the fact that we managed to get get her out there, even when it was so dark, as a small miracle. But I generally want to spend more time with her. Anyway, she's likely just refuse to go back to... Okay. Really? Really? Let's go. Duh! Can't work out why Hanako has decided to agree with me, but I'm not about to ask her to change her mind. Yay, Sal's not a basement dweller. I have a basement apartment. I'm offended by that comment. I resemble that remark, sir. Actually, my mascot is Red from Neptunia, because we believe in all wifeys for lifeys, as we put it. Stepping off the bus, I immediately noticed that a lot of people are around us. In hindsight, it should have been obvious, of course. A lot of people will be downtown on a Saturday afternoon. Hanako retreats close to my side, and I can feel her hand clutch my arm tightly. Her body is held against mine, and her head is bowed so low that her hat hides most of her scarring. So, where shall I go? A bookshop? Hanako's president and my other general living expenses have pretty much drained my budget. But I should be able to afford a few books. Something I tried to reserve a few funds for anyway. For a second I think Hanako didn't hear me, but then I looked to my side, noticed her nodding almost imperceptibly. Okay, do you know one? Actually I do. Passed a few when Lily and I were looking for your presence. Hanako's expression clouds a fraction. Got to remember to stop bringing up her birthday. Alright, Uni. Hanako best girl, Tomoko? Welcome. Have fun with the sleeps, Uni. Get some rest. You both spent a lot of time. Maria misjudged the situation. We wanted to make sure we got the right present after all. Hanako smiles and blushes a bit. Small treasure when she does. Uni-chan. Anyway, there should be a bookshop just up ahead. Do you want to check it out? Sure. The crowds start to build as we head towards the bookshop along with raised walkways. Hanako latches her other arm onto me as well, making our progress a little slower. Sleep is bad. No, sleep is okay. Sleep is okay, Tom. Everything can't be bad civilization, okay? As we walk, the sound of the traffic makes me think of a possible distraction for her. I was wondering, Hanako, have you thought yet about when you're going to learn to drive? Driving? Yeah, I'm kind of lucky, in a way. There aren't a whole lot of students in Yamaku that are allowed to drive. It's not the best topic of conversation, but I want to try and distract Hanako from the situation. She's really highly strung right now. Then again, all I've really done is make her feel awkward, since she's probably never thought about it. Wish I hadn't said anything. Sunlight is bad. Sunlight's great, man. What are you talking about?
Before long, we are before one of the bookshops Lily and I passed by during our search. What kind of self-respecting bookshop closed on Saturdays?
Bookshops don't make much money anymore because of the internet. Maybe they just had to close over weekends.
Seems pretty knowledgeable about technology. Guess it's a pursuit that would lend itself well to someone who enjoys solitude. Huh. I guess that makes sense. It's easy to find books online. Anyway, it looks like this idea is a shot. Anything else you like to do? Falls on a Sunday? Nice.
If it's not a bother, you show me where you bought my present?
Better get a birthday shout out? Maybe. No, I'm kidding. Sure, not a problem. It's not far from here. Alright, let's go. Let's go! I head off in the direction of the store, only half sure of its exact location. I don't want to repeat of the last time, spending half the day walking around aimlessly. If you ask, you don't get. Is that how it works? Here we are, Othello's Antiques.
It's small.
Well, yes. It took Lily and me some time to find it.
It's not like I like it, guys, or anything, bucket.
Sorry.
Can we go in?
I don't see why not. It's open. Hanako pushes through the door and enters before me. Once again, the store is empty save for the store owner. His face drops low when he sees me.
Oh, not here for a return, are you? Wait, that's not the girl you had with you last time.
I don't remember what this guy sounded like, so that's his voice now. No, we're not here to return anything. We're just in town and want to have another look in here. Store owner considers this for quite a long time. Guess he's not used to high school students coming to his shop on a regular basis.
Might this be the friend you bought gifts for?
That's right. There are presents for her. Store owner turns to Hanako, freezes on the spot like a deer caught in the headlights. He moves to address her, but stops before doing so, looking a little taken aback. Catches himself staring and looks to the side, addressing us indirectly. His expression is awkward and tense, as is his entire body. I want to be mad at him, but I know full well that I had the same instinctive reaction when I first saw her. First surprise and curiosity, then awkward looking away as I dealt with what I'd seen. Hanako looks less panicked than before, but I think the feeling she's giving off now is worse. It's not anger nor annoyance. If anything, it's one of apology.
You're lucky there, young lady, to have friends that care about you as much as they do.
Thank you. I hadn't spent so much time with Hanako, I wouldn't even realize that she said anything. Then again, store owner's mumble was hardly clear either, thanks in part to being directed away from us. He's now a side character that we'll never meet ever again at the end. You falling? You can't get up, Tom? You can do it! I believe in you! You can do it! Go, go, T-O-M, kills! Oh no, that's my cheer. Hanako strikes out into the store, gazing in wonder at the various items on display. She finds the doll section and spends lingering minutes studying each and every one. The side of Hanako I've only barely been introduced to. I was astonished when Lily said she liked dolls, and even more so to find her collection sitting on her dresser. Life alert. Uh-oh. Oh, I get. Oh, yeah. That app, when you fall and you just press the button and then like calls like 911 and calls the police and stuff, emergency care. She looks a little better now that she's distracted and out of the store owner's sight. I'm still quite put off by the whole experience. Might have my own problems, but I never had strangers react to me like that, as if I was something completely alien to them. Fair, Tom. What?
This is a nice shop.
Yeah, it's not what I expected. Do you want to buy something?
I didn't bring any money.
Well, we can always come again. Now that I know where to find it, that is.
Well, we can?
Of course. You can come here as often as you like.
Thank you.
No need to thank me. I almost forgot where this place was. I don't really think either of us completely believes in what we're saying. Rather, we're just repeating what we think we should say.
Can Shall we go back to school for now?
Sure thing. Let's go. As we leave for the bus stop, I see the store owner peek through the curtain at the back of the shop. Not really sure what that glance he gives to her says. Feels a bit weird, and the fact that Hanako didn't see it is both a relief and a bit frustrating. Hanako has stopped walking once we reached the concrete area between the dormitory buildings. There was barely a word said between us on the way back from the city.
Well then, goodbye.
Do you want to have some tea or something? How about a game? Hanako shakes her head embarrassedly.
I'm tired. Maybe later? I've got homework.
Sounds a little depressed. Hanako obviously does want to do more.
Hey!
Yo, thanks for the bits. I'm enjoying this game, Tomoko, so, I'm enjoying it.
I'm glad the notifications work. In other news.
Guys, we're not going to play the who's in worse shape, because I want everyone to be in better shape. And I don't mean exercise and shit. I was just mean healthy. Just healthy. And living. She sounds a little depressed. Hanako obviously does want to do more. But I suppose she would have a bit of schoolwork to catch up on. She's missed a few days of lessons. Homework. Thanks for reminding me. I've got a stack to do as well. Guess I'll see you tomorrow.
See you, Isao.
Before I can say goodbye, Hanako has turned and begun walking toward the entrance to the female dormitory building. I look at the door she disappears through for a bit before going off toward my own dorms. Today was a tiring day. I was so busy I didn't actually finish the editing time, I'm not gonna lie. Scars. Act 4. Does that mean we're finally on our way? Anyway. I woke up, took my pills, had a nice shower, quickly slipped on my uniform, ate a tasty breakfast, grabbed my bag, and headed off. All as per my usual daily routine. Wow, this guy's like... Alright, we'll wake up, pills, shower, uniform, eat a great breakfast, grab my bag, then get my day started. Alright. Really? It was only after arriving in class that the normality of the day was thrown off. For taking my seat, I watched my classmates trickle into the room over the next hour, till every empty seat was eventually taken other than Hanako's. Is that Shizune? I can never get used to the idea that she just doesn't show up to class every now and again. Feels all the more worrying now as well, given that Lily's left. As Muto continues to drone on, I find my gaze flickering every so often over to her seat, as if she might appear there any moment now. Nobody else seems to care at all about her absence. They have little reason to. Hanako being absent from class, after all, is perfectly normal. Or at least it was. Her attendance hasn't been all that bad from what I've seen in my time here, but was apparently much more spotty beforehand. This is also an ominous time for her to be gone. The day before her birthday. My suspicions are starting to rise, after the breakdown she had in class when it was mentioned. An increasing amount of my thoughts is taken up by how I can help her. In the end, I feel like I can't do anything. The bell heralding the beginning of lunchtime rings out, shaking me out of my thoughts. A collective sigh of relief can be heard from the class, though Muto looks quite put off. He dislikes being interrupted in the middle of his exciting lectures, after all. So I'm wondering what I should do on lunch break, given that Hanako and Lily aren't here. The solution presents itself. Afternoon, Hee-chan! Shizune's ready. Afternoon, Misha, Shizune. You both look as bright as ever. Chi-chan wants to know if you'd like to have lunch with us today. Misha's too strong. You can't smash her with a hammer. Sure, it'll be good to have some company. Cafeteria hums with activity, much like my old schools did. Hanako is different, though, in how strangely civilized the lunchtime rush is.
What one would expect to be an unruly mob chomping at the bit to get to the serving area is rather a neat and organized line. Hair drills, indeed. There's a small amount of jostling, and people's heads are often craning around to check on what's happening up ahead, but it's pretty subdued. This is due, no doubt, to the very serious rules regarding such matters in the school. The same strict discipline is observed when students move in the hallways, or come to and from their dormitories and the school gate. While the reasons for it may be slightly off-putting, I've come to quite like the sense of order that's enforced in the school. Anime Misha is best anime? Thank you. Wait, what? Best anime? What? I don't really like being told by Shizune and Misha to get their lunches, though. I feel a little used as they take a seat at the table where they're sitting, plunking their food down in front of them. Sweet bread and strawberry milk for Misha, bowl of ramen and juice for Shizune. Give a sigh of relief as I put it all down after the significant difficulty I had carrying it all in addition to my own lunch. My Misha is like Nobles was? Okay. Thank you! Misha claps her hands together before popping open the wrapper and digging into her bread ravenously. She then simply gives an appreciative nod before giving her steaming ramen a stir and blowing on it a little to cool it down. I'll open my own lunch, another packet of sweet bread, and take a bite before washing it down with some juice. The bread is very sweet, so much that I end up forcing myself to stomach it just to get the experience over with. Midway through, I decide to take a break from the difficult task and ask what's on my mind. So, I'm guessing you two had a reason to drag me down here? You two seem to always have an ulterior motive, after all. What I say, fine. Her mouth is full of sweet bread as she speaks. It's a pretty unpleasant sight. She then looks a little grossed out before going back to eat her ramen. I wait until Misha swallows what she has in her mouth before speaking again. Not buttering me up to make me work with you after school? Nope! Not trying to extract information from me that I might not want to give? Nuh-uh! Fine, you win. I guess you just want to eat lunch with someone as intelligent and handsome as me, then. That's it, Hee-chan! You got it! Wait, what? She then looks unimpressed as Misha finishes signing our conversation and sucks in the last of a long noodle as she signs her own thoughts. Hee-chan says, "You shouldn't be so suspicious of us. She's just doing her duty as class representative after all." Am I Misha in disguise? No, I'm myself. I don't know what you're talking about. Wait, what? How's your... Are you doing that? As much as I hate to admit it, it looks as if I still have trouble communicating with Shizune. It should be a simple matter of keeping eye contact with her and addressing Shizune instead of Misha in my speech. When somebody else is doing the talking for her, it's a surprisingly difficult task. It's the class representative's job to ensure everybody is doing all right in class, isn't it? Not really. Wait, how's making me get your food ensuring that I'll go well in class? Sarah huffs and adjusts her glasses disapprovingly. So this is the thanks we get for giving you companionship during lunchtime? That's total dodge of the question. Wait, hang on. How did you know that I... Lily's away, and Hanako is absent. And since those two are the only people you hang around with, you also made it kind of obvious, to see. Can't move so a squad isn't needed. Ouch. I may well have done so, but she didn't need to rub it in. Maybe this is payback for her before. Right, well thanks. I appreciate it. And that isn't sarcasm. The two nod and we go back to finish our meals. Feels a little embarrassing to be accompanied just because he knows I was lonely, but it isn't as if they're strangers either. It isn't long before I finish the last of my bread and start on the last of my juice, and as I do so, find my mind wandering back to what I had been thinking about before the two interrupted my train of thought. Feels like I'm the only one in the class that so much as acknowledges Hanako not being there. It felt like this the other times she skipped class, but now it's even more acutely annoying. Does nobody care if she's happy or not? Or have they just written off any possibility of helping to make her better? Even Muto doesn't try to keep her in class. I'm still not wholly convinced by his reasoning.
Hey, Hee-chan! Is your juice past its expiry date?
What?
You are pulling a weird face, like this!
As if it were needed, Misha mimics my own expression. Exaggeration makes me grimace, though. She's gonna at least take some amusement from it. I was thinking about Hanako.
Oh!
Misha's interest is piqued, and so is Shizune's once my words are interpreted for her. I'm just worried about her being absent so often. Especially now, though. What with her birthday coming around. The memories of that incident in class are still fresh in their minds. Their faces alone are telling that much. Do you know anything about Hanako? Anything that might help? Misha shrugs and looks at Shizune, who mulls on this for a while. And Shizune is communicating, I guess. Remember, guys, stay hydrated or else you cannot be a Misha voice.
The only people she's ever talked to for more than a sentence or two are you and Lily.
Shizune may not be able to convey Lily's name in a derisive tone of speech, but I feel as if it comes through in her sign language. The effect is lost, however, after Misha's interpretation.
There are a couple of things we know about Hanako as student council members, thanks to the records that passed through our hands, but we can't say anything about what's in them.
Understandable. Sounded like the nurse's patient confidentiality. Until I find someone that knows something about Hanako's past, turns up being a dead end. The only way I'll ever find out is by asking her. I don't know if she'll let me know such things, but if it's for her sake, I have to at least try. Ah.
Don't worry about it, Hee-chan. It happens every year after all.
That doesn't remove my sense of worry at all. I still feel a little at fault for what happened in class, but this feels like it goes further, even without their confirmation of that fact. Plus, how you can walk minus how you can't breathe? That's fair, Tom. Take short rests. Misha notes my troubled expression. Misha notes my own troubled expression. Her own usually happy, reassuring face dropping.
Everyone has problems they have to deal with, right, Hee-chan?
Yeah, I just wish I could help Hanako more with hers. With that, the conversation trails off on a depressing note. Eventually, Misha managed to pick the mood back up through her usual bright and bubbly antics. My mind remains focused on Hanako. It was just like Misha laughing a lot, and she's going, "Why are you laughing?" I'll go check on her later. And the clock tick-tocks and the children. Asthma attacks at 2 a.m. are shit? Yeah, they are. Make sure my door is locked after dropping off my school bag. The dorms are quiet, which kept me occupied longer than I expected. Discussing my studies after classes ended and pressing on me some worksheets to give to Hanako almost as an afterthought. Absorbed in thought, I'm late in registering the shadow that appears in front of me. That reveals the owner of said shadow. Hey! It's the boy! It's the Kenjis!
Hey, man! Haven't seen you in a while.
Oh, hi.
What's with that response? Man, we haven't seen each other in so long, my voice changed.
I mean, blame the person playing the game. My absent-minded greeting visibly annoys him. I'd probably have had the same reaction too. Sexist Harry Potter. Yup, easy back. Sorry, just thinking about a lot of stuff.
Thinking is a pretty poor excuse to not be aiding the war effort.
And how goes the war?
I am preparing.
Right now, I need money to help with those preparations.
If you want me to loan you money, just say it.
No, man, I'm good.
You're good? You don't want my money?
Hey, man, don't look so surprised. It's insulting. I'm pretty big in the competitive bowling scene, but yesterday I found some guys who didn't know that.
I'm fairly sure that betting would be against the school rules.
School rules don't matter. This is a war situation. People these days, they have no appreciation for what war means.
So, what do you need this money for, dare I ask?
Non-perishable canned food, building materials, mostly corrugated iron and wood panels, first aid kit, camping heater, portable radio, sleeping bag, flashlight, mechanical clock.
At first it strikes me as a rather random assortment of objects and materials, but after a few seconds it clicks. Isn't that a list of materials for a fallout shelter?
Ah, so you've read a Protect and Survive booklet. It's good to see someone knowledgeable about how to protect themselves.
You don't seriously think?
It's a non-zero possibility.
No, I'm pretty sure there's zero possibility of that ever happening. You slowly and dramatically raised an eyebrow. Well, as dramatically as one can raise an eyebrow. The chance is, I don't know, 0.1 to the trillionth place? It's infinitesimal. Besides, where can you build a fallout shelter anyway? Certainly not on campus.
It's my summer holiday project while I'm at home. My dad said I can do it.
Really?
Yeah, he thought it'll improve my crafting skills and manual dexterity, or something.
You heard flashlight? No, I said flashlight! I said flashlight! Flash!
It wasn't Kenji voice, it happens.
Knowing Kenji, his dad probably just thought it might keep him out of his hair for a while. Still, it does make me wonder what his parents are like. Maybe they're totally normal and Kenji's just an aberration. On the other hand, maybe this kind of paranoia and fearful survivalism runs in the family.
Hey, want to help me build it? You look like the type to be handy with tools. If I had your help, we could make a really badass bunker instead of just a fallout shelter.
I doubt that. Playing soccer before my accident gave me a good footwork, but I've never really tried my hand at anything approaching real handiwork. That might be the cannon. That might be the Cannon King. He might found Vaultec. I'm not really. I'm busy over the holidays anyway, I'm afraid.
A shame. If the feminists ever get a hold of the launch codes, I fear that so few will be prepared.
Your fallout shelter will protect you from a nuclear bomb explosion, in case that does happen.
A fallout shelter isn't meant to protect against a blast. That's what a blast shelter is for. I thought you knew better.
My mistake.
My home's pretty far away from any major military sites, so the fallout following a nuclear exchange is a bigger concern than the blast itself.
I don't have a flashlight, so...
What this'll do is keep the dust and other particulates away from me, my food supply, and my sleeping area. It's gonna last me at least 14 days, though.
14 days is a pretty long time.
It is. I need 1 liter of water a day for drinking, 2 optimally so that I can wash as well. Toiletry is easy enough. Just garbage bags and a bin placed outside the shelter area. Food means canned supplies, of course.
Of course, and the radio is for outside communication?
Right. So I can pick up on government alerts on what's going on outside. I need a mechanical clock rather than an electric one, in case the electromagnetic pulse from a nuclear airburst fries it too.
Yeah, no, King.
There's all the other stuff I need as well, like extra clothing, matches, and candles. I think I still have time to gather it all, though. Maybe.
As much as I hate to say it, I'm a little impressed. He's really researched this and thought it through. Then again, I don't know if I want to live in a post-apocalyptic world with only people like Kenji having survived. Sounds like you really know what you're doing.
Damn right I do.
Must be hard living in a constant fear like this. Hardly ever socializes either, so the fact that he went bowling with others is in itself something of a surprise. This mentality reminds me a little of a certain someone. Thankfully, her fear of others doesn't manifest in such a distinctly eccentric way. One thing I know for sure is that I certainly can't tell him exactly why I haven't been hanging around with him much recently.
It's late. I have stuff to do. I'll think about making a fallout shelter or something, though.
Yeah, alright, that's cool. A man has to do what he's gotta do, after all. A man's gotta do what a man's gotta do. Build a fallout shelter against the feminist conspiracy that's gonna totally happen. What? You should hang out with me sometime. By the way, you're a cool dude. Cool dudes should hang out together, right?
For some reason, that compliment actually feels kind of nice. The situation with Hanako being what it is, though, means that I probably won't be able to fulfill his request. For now, at least.
That'd be good. I'll talk to you later about it when I can. Cool. Later, dude.
Retreats to his dormitory room. I had better go see Hanako. It's nice that being shipped to anyone, Tom. Okay. Stand outside of the door to Hanako's room, hoping that she isn't in too much of a state as I nervously clutch the worksheets Muto asked me to pass on to her. It's one more reason to visit her, and it gives me something to talk about, so I suppose I should be thankful to him for giving me the task. Yeah, I outlasted everyone else? Don't think so, Tom. Trust me. It will happen. With a long breath to steady myself, I wrap my knuckles on the door in front of me. Silence. I listen intently for any sound of shuffling coming from inside, but can't hear a thing. I knock on the door again slightly harder. Still no answer. How strange. Scratching my head, I make one last attempt at getting her to answer as I knock on the door one final time. Hanako, it's just me. Who just said to give you some stuff? For a while, the attempt seems just as unsuccessful as the last. Just before I slip the sheets under her door, though, I hear the handle rattling. The door opens halfway. Quickly try to see how Hanako's faring. The task made somewhat more difficult by her oversized gown hiding so much of her body. She doesn't look sick, or at least not immediately so. Oh no, they're playing sad music though. To be honest, I'd have preferred that to her expression. I preferred that to her expression right now. She looks terribly tired. Appears to be barely acknowledging my presence. Hi, Hanako. Muto wanted me to give you these since you weren't in class today. I hold out the loose sheets, which she tentatively takes in her hands. The way she moves is devoid of thought. Her posture is slumped, in an unusual manner for someone that's so often tense and wound up. Even her eyes keep looking away from mine, doing their best to avoid eye contact. I move my head a little to try and get a better look, but she just ends up turning away. Are you... Painful Memories is a great track. Uh-oh. Are you okay? If you're feeling sick or anything, I could go get a nurse. Feels almost pitiful to put on such a routine get-well-soon act. Can't think of anything else I could possibly do for her, though. Seems to collect herself a little at the notion, but only a little. Her head remains turned away, but her eyes move toward mine. I'm fine. An awkward silence follows. As it lingers, I notice that the sleeves and the cuffs of her gown bear slightly damp stains. Her cheeks are a bit red, too. Has she been crying? I see. I hesitated a little before coming out with the words I really came here to say. Would you like me to stay? I don't have anything urgent to do at the moment, so it wouldn't be any trouble. Her eyes slide away from me. I lose any hope for an improvement of her mood. I wait for a response, but she doesn't say anything, nor give any kind of gesture. She stands there looking away from me. No, Tom, the Katawa Shoujo tracks are really good so far. Like, I've been enjoying them. So, that's pretty good. I realized King went to bed. Night. Hanako? Slowly shakes her head. Okay, good night then. With that, Hanako steps back and closes her door without a second word. More than a little worried, I retreat back to my room. Wandering up the hallway, I kept mulling over what happened. Felt like Hanako was only half there. As if I was interacting with a robot that was just doing what it was programmed to do without any real thought. She was a husk of a person. This is frustrating. I hoped that meeting Hanako would help the situation, but it feels like it only made it harder to understand her. How am I supposed to try and help her when she's quite literally shuts me out like this? I don't even bother to turn on the light, opting instead to simply change into my pajamas, quickly choke down my evening pills, and collapse onto my bed. Something tells me. Today, this day, Hanako's birthday day,
will be a day where something happens. They're already starting with the music. Wow. Once again, Hanako doesn't turn up for class. Try as I might to concentrate on other matters, this fact continues to distract me throughout the entire school day, and even as I walk through the school gardens to the dormitories. I don't think today being her birthday is a coincidence either. I don't know the link between the two events though, nor do I have any idea on what she's feeling. Where a physical pain, I can at least provide some limited comfort. Something like this though, I have no idea where to start. I run the people I know through my head, think about whether they could help. Shiza and Misha don't know that much about Hanako, and what little they do know, they can't tell me. Same for the nurse. In the end, there's only one person that knows Hanako well and would be willing to tell me anything. Entering my dormitory room, I notice something that takes me off guard. It's starting to feel familiar. Everything that's going on around me, I'm thankful that this room started to finally be somewhere I can relax a little. At first entering Hanako felt immediately foreign in every way, from the untouched neatness to the way it smelled. Focusing back on the task at hand, I throw my bag onto the bed as I open the top drawer of my desk. Yeah, you know, Tom. You know I don't want spoilers, so it's fine. Before she left, Lily told me the number to call her on while in Scotland. I wrote it down. In hindsight, I wonder if she knew something like this could happen. Now that she's out of reach, I realize just how much both Hanako and I have relied on her for guidance. Dig around the drawer after drawer, looking for that damn piece of paper. Eventually, thankfully, I find it nestled under a borrowed library book. Probably should have just entered it directly into my cell phone, come to think of it. Without further ado, I enter the numbers and anxiously press the call button. Eventually the phone picks up, a feminine voice I don't recognize on the other end. It's probably Lily's mother. Sato. That's totally what it sounds like, right? English? Suddenly finding myself unprepared, I realize I can't understand a word she says, either due to my limited vocabulary or her heavy accent. I should have anticipated this, since according to Lily, her mother is a native Scot. I soldier on in the hopes that she must know some Japanese, considering it's her daughter's native language. It's Hisao Nakai speaking. Enthusiastic sound of realization can be heard as she recognizes the language. My feeling of relief is immense. You know, not like to see this phone bill. Actually, a lot of phone calls overseas is not that expensive. Like this will probably be maybe a few yen. So it'd be like negligible because a lot of plans actually anticipate, hey, you're gonna take trips and they might be overseas and you might need your phone for that. Included. In the case of like Lily's family, I'm pretty sure they would have put something in place just in case she needs to use it overseas as well. Saying, "Ah, you must be one of Lily's friends from school, correct?" Mrs. Sato has a very terrible voice, I'm sorry. Even so, her accent means I have to concentrate to work out what she's saying. Yes, that's right. Please to speak to you, Mrs. Sato. It's so nice of her to find someone so polite. Lily, dear, it's for you. Her mother seems nice, if a little over-enthusiastic given the mundane situation. She also has a weird voice. I don't know. A small silence as Lily takes her time getting to the phone. In the distance, I can just make out her mother scolding her playfully for just getting up. Hello, Lily speaking. You sound awful. She makes it sound somewhere between a dying animal and a yawn. Yeah. Damn, we missed Scottish anime? I'm sorry. You got weird voice anime instead. One thing I did remember to check before calling was the time zone. Pretty late in the morning over there, so she really has no excuse. Not feeling well? Just tired. What time is it there? Late afternoon. School's finished for the day not long ago. Hanako's not well, is she? That was quick. My assumption that she must have known something like this could happen seems to have been on the mark. How do you know? Because today is her birthday. I'd hoped she might have gotten at least a little better after coming to you, but how is she right now? She missed school today and yesterday. So I have to check up on her today. To be honest, after seeing how she was when I talked to her yesterday, I'm pretty anxious. Really have no idea what to make of it. Has this happened in the past? Is it related to her scarring in some way? Unfortunately so.
Roughly the same thing happened last year when her birthday came up.
The game will be done in an hour? Holy crap.
As far as I can tell, it's because her parents died in the accident that caused her scarring, and Hanako blames herself for their deaths.
What she says does seem to make sense. She's blaming herself on her birthday. She may as well be ruining that she was ever born. Hanako had mentioned her stay in the orphanage to me. Maybe I should take to heart that she trusts me enough to tell me such a thing. Lily seeming so in the dark about it, though, almost to the extent that I am, is a surprise. So that's why she lives in the student dormitories as well. She told you any more about the accident?
As close as we've come, she's very barely told me anything about what happened. What I know about it is largely conjecture.
She sounds depressed, almost defeated. Considering the trauma Hanako must have gone through, I really can't fault Lily for not knowing. Nevertheless, she still seems to consider it a personal failing. Don't blame yourself, Lily, with everything she's gone through. A long silence from the other end of the line. I get to wonder if the call cut out before the voice at the other end speaks to you once again.
There is another person, though, that has been a subject of worry for me as of late.
Oh? Run through the people she could be talking about in my head. The only friends she seems to keep very close are Hanako and me, but there is Akira as well. Oh! This music is crescendoing! I feel pumped! I feel determined! Determination! But like, from the pacifist ending side. Not the rotting carcass of a Let's Player I was at the end of the Genocide run.
That person is you, Hisao.
Another silence on the line, but this time it's caused by me. Making others worry about me is something I very actively tried to avoid since coming to Yamaku. Indeed, even my interaction with Hanako has helped stave off any major health problems thanks to our relaxed and slow-paced lives. It's really good, yeah. What is there to worry about over me?
I apologize. I didn't mean any offense.
Sorry, I was just taking it a bit off guard. So isn't Hanako a bigger problem at the moment?
For some time now, I've thought that the both of you may be feeding into each other's more worrying habits. I tried to amend this before leaving, but seems to have done little.
Worrying habits?
When I asked you about what you had in mind for the future, your answer was very similar to what Hanako had said in the past, when that question was posed to her. It is well and good to want to protect her, but I fear that treating Hanako like this, as if she were a daughter of someone in need of special care, is only going to achieve the opposite.
The situation got effectively turned on its head. For everything that's happened, this is the first time I find myself doubting Lily's judgment. Yeah, well... Probably because you're wrong, Hisao! Right? Who wouldn't trust Lily's judgment? Lily is a very insightful person and would have been the person I would have been doing the route for. Tom didn't trick me into going around Hanako's route. Which I've been enjoying tremendously, though. So, you know what? Thanks, Tom. I'm enjoying myself tremendously. But I'm going to agree with Lily because fuck you, Isao. I think you're kind of a meh. All right. No offense, Sal, but you're. You know, Tom, back me up here. Agreeing with Lily, best, right? Yeah. Yeah, sure. I mean, I let myself be tricked, fair, but... Yeah, we get the good ending. I'm assuming if you don't, you're gonna got bad things are happening. I don't want to admit it, but she may have a point. Something else bugs me, though. And you tried to amend this? Wait, our outing into the city?
Quite astute. I thought that it might help if I dragged both of you out of Yamaku and into the wider world. I am thankful you became closer for it, though.
So she noticed that. I suppose she may well have been paying attention to us, and her hearing's incredibly good. Quite likely good enough to have picked up what we were talking about if she tried. This sounds more and more like you were manipulating us. Oh, Bad End doesn't even get to Act 4? Whoa! Oh. Shit. Oh my god. I might have to find out off stream what that means, Tom. That is a very worrying but
my curiosity as a person who likes seeing the full picture is piqued. I might regret life, but I might have to find out. Silence. It's a harsh way of putting it, but I have no intention of stepping back from those words. I'm sorry. I was just worried about you. It's fine. I guess there are more important things anyway. It's not a total surprise that she'd do such a thing. Her motherly nature can be slightly overbearing at times, but she does have the best of intentions. So you think I should think about myself more instead of trying to cater to Hanako? That largely sums it up. Again, I'm sorry for not telling you this in a clearer way before going behind your back. I know I am at least as guilty of being overprotective of Hanako as you. But I fear that you are neglecting yourself in your efforts to give Hanako happiness. Do you really think Hanako will be okay? She isn't as fragile as you think. I don't know exactly what experiences she's lived through, what feelings she had in her mind, but she has managed to work her way through them until now. It's also my hope that giving her a little space will allow her to decide what she truly wants for herself, and give her the initiative to reach out for it. Please have faith in Hanako. That's all I ask. I guess I'll think about it for a while. That's good. Being rash won't get you anywhere. I know that at times you may doubt your relationship with Hanako, but she does. Lily cuts herself off and takes a moment to reconsider her words. Please keep in mind that I wouldn't have befriended you if I hadn't thought you a fundamentally good person. You're a good friend both to myself and to Hanako. Thank you. That helps. Share some small talk to try and lighten the atmosphere. Feels very stilted. There's a lot I don't know about Lily's stay in Scotland. After such a heavy subject, I want to be alone for a bit to think. After a few minutes, we end up saying our goodbyes, and I set my phone on my desk. Compared to Hanako's situation, mine feels utterly mundane. So at both my parents, I had a reasonably normal childhood. And like many in Yamaku, my condition isn't immediately visible to the public. But, Hisao, you have to recognize, and this is the problem, he doesn't notice it yet. This is why Lily's worried about you. But, real talk, remember, your experiences are the ones that affect you. I don't care if someone lost a leg and you go, oh, I have both my legs, so I should. No, that's not how it works. I'm telling you, anybody who listens to this, do not invalidate your own experiences just because somebody has it worse or better. Be happy about your own happy moments. Be sad about your own sad moments. Oh my god, he's a daft twat in all the routes. Oh my... Seriously. Everybody recognize. Anyone who listens to this. You are important. Your experiences are important. Do not think that your suffering or your elations are any more or less than anyone else's. Because it doesn't matter if it is or not to other people. You are important. And your feelings and your experience are important. Remember that. Hisao doesn't recognize that. He goes, Hanako's had it worse. Hisao doesn't recognize that his traumas have to be faced. He has to face his demons. We all do. And it's important to know that. Emmy's is the worst for his stupidity, and that's why you don't star on it? Fair. Thank you. Oh, okay. Anyway, with that said, let's continue. But then again, isn't this just an attempt to justify the way I've been acting towards her? Oh, is he actually going to recognize it? That may well be what our pasts were like. When it comes to the future, I still have no idea what I want to do. In school, I'm just concentrating on each day's work, and I put off more and more things to cater to Hanako. Recall the words Muto told me after Hanako's breakdown, the purpose of Yamaku in my education. In hindsight, he's probably trying to push exactly the same thing. So what have I been doing in the time since my heart attack? If I ever did manage to get Hanako out of her room to open up, what then? I look out of my dormitory window as the sun slowly sets. It's a nice sight. What I really savor is the quiet as the students return to their dormitory rooms. All I want to do now is think. I'm not sure how much time I have, but I want to work out where I'll go from here. Oh, I finally realized it! A little bit smarter! God damn it, Hisao. Damn that guy. Since talking to Lily yesterday, I wanted to try and move on from the listlessness I felt ever since coming to Yamaku. But even I tried to concentrate on the book in front of me, Hanako's empty seat at the back of the classroom looms larger than life. Every time I start getting focused, my eyes flick over to her desk again, and my mind starts spinning. Once more, my eyes drift over to it, but this time my vision is blocked by a certain other classmate. Oh. Hey, Miki. Yo! Yo, hey, Miki. Yo, how's it going, girls? Maybe you should just have lunch. I can hear your stomach growling from my desk. Let my head drop in disappointment. She seems to take some amusement from my reaction and hops up onto my desk. Her grin as she sits on it reminds me of the Cheshire Cat. So what you working on? Some math. I have a decent handle on it, but I just wanted to revise it. Oh really? Let me see that. I can object. She grabs my mathematics book with her hand. She scans the page I was on, holding it open with the one hand she has, her left arm sitting uselessly on her lap. In my time here at Yamaku, I've noticed that the other students have a wide range of adjustments to their disabilities. On a purely practical level, Miki is one of those who seems to have some trouble. Stump on her left arm tends to be either hanging by her side, slipped into a pocket, or otherwise put out of the way. Sometimes she has a difficult time doing common tasks, which makes her visibly quite frustrated. I feel a little bad for thinking this way, but I'm thankful that Hanako and I don't have disabilities affecting our freedom of movement to that extent. Then again, if Miki's problem worsened, at least she wouldn't have a real possibility of dying. My attention is refocused on as she thumbs through a few pages, skimming their contents. With such a casual interest in the subject matter, it's clear by now that she won't be of any help. I'm guessing you're not too interested in this stuff. Screw math. It's boring as hell. She puts the book back in front of me with indifference. Her eyes move to the notebook beside it that I've been working on practice equations on. Wait. You're actually able to work that stuff out? Yep. Wow. I've never talked to a computer with legs before. Thanks, I think. At least I'm doing better in this than history. Think it's worth asking for that librarian for help. I hear she's shooting for uni. Yuko? Maybe. I don't know what she wants to study though. So what about you? Got anything you're thinking about doing after you graduate? Me? Nah, not really. Just enjoying it while it lasts. She looks a little awkward when I ask about her future, and absentmindedly rubs her left forearm. Kinda want to ask her about it, but I don't think I know her well enough to do so, because she's not one of the routes. Wait, what? That was weird. The conversation peters out. I lean back in my chair, giving up on the prospect of studying. Miki notices my tired expression and looks oddly serious. Think about Hanako. It's that obvious? You've been glancing at her seat. You've been pretty quiet. Not too hard to connect the dots. I'm just worried about her. Yeah, I can see why you'd be. She could get weird sometimes. Sounds put off, but I can't blame her. Hanako was a hard person to interact with before she warmed up to me, even with Lily around to help. I haven't known her for that long either, or some of her habits would still be unknown to me. A fan-made route? It'd be interesting to actually have a Hisao who's now a little bit more aware, like right now, who helps Miki as a friend. Not as a romantic development or anything, but as a friend who goes, hey, we're friends now, so I want to, I've thought about my future a lot, and now I finally got myself together, but you're important too. So, let's talk it out. Think about it. There's probably things she wants to do that she can't anymore, or she thinks she can't anymore.
that's fine. That'd be cool though. I think it's cool that there's a fan-made route in development though. That's interesting. My face becomes troubled. I hadn't developed feelings for her. This would be at least a little easier to deal with. I mean, no offense. She isn't a bad person, I know that much. I know, but I didn't take it that way. It's just hard to deal with when, well, you have feelings for someone. Yeah, I can imagine that. It's hard to forget something like that. What happened to her during class too? But Shannon reminded me of that. Just confirmed that it was clearly noticed by others in the room as well. The Misha one is trash. If it doesn't have a ton of wahahaing, it's not a Misha route. Come on, don't get that down. She's done this before. You've just got to wait it out. She locks herself in her room and acts like an empty husk of a person for a sizable amount of time, ever since she entered Yamaku. If not before then as well. And I'm not supposed to be concerned about that? Well, I might think that, but there's nothing that I can do. Can't force her to come out. She does see a therapist, so it's not like she isn't getting any help for her issues. I mean, it's natural to think that way when you're so powerless to help someone. It's just the way she is, and you just have to deal with it. So mull things over, I notice a movement out of the corner of my eye. Glance to see what it is, end up doing a double take. Sure enough, it's Hanako. She walks through the door just as she would any normal school day, begins to move towards her seat in her usual silent and humble manner. She looks at me for a moment before blushing and looking away in embarrassment, which makes me realize I was staring at her. I feel sorry for that, but not doing it is hard after all that's happened. The girl sitting on my desk looks at me grinning. Hey, lover boy! It seems your girl's here. See? Your sweetheart's back already. What did I tell you? You be quiet. God damn it. Really? This is the girl I told her about my feelings with Hanako? Damn it. Might only be meant as a joke, but she hits close enough to make me quite uncomfortable. As we talk, someone calls Miki's name from the door. She jumps down from her vantage point on my desk, returning to me. Gotta go, Hisao. Remember to eat sometime, will ya? Fine, I will. See ya. See ya! She gives a casual salute before jogging over to the door. Her male student in a gym uniform is waiting for her. Probably someone from the track and field club. Seizing the opportunity, I get up and make my way to Hanako's desk. Hello. Hi, Hanako. What's up? Nothing. Maybe talking to her this soon after she came back to class was a bad move. Want to come with me and grab something from the cafeteria? I'm pretty hungry. But I thought you were studying. Studying can wait. Turning for class after all this time must have taken some courage for Hanako, so the least I can do is stay with her. That's just the way she is, and you just have to deal with it. It's the way Miki, and probably their class as a whole, views Hanako. I can do more for her, though. I want to do more for her. After being distracted by Miki, I don't think I'm going to get any work done. Come on, let's go. She hesitates, but eventually gets up and joins me as we begin walking. These may be small steps for her, but the fact that she's finally out of her room, of her own volition, lifts a large weight off my shoulders. Hey, now, judging by the fact that this act is the last act and it's called Scars, I'm going to assume that there's going to be something about scars, like Hisao's. Because obviously we've seen Hanako's like the entire game. My pen busily scrawls onto a slowly filling page on my notebook. My other hand remains on the page of a reference book I borrowed from the library, marking my spot as my eyes flicker to and fro. As I work, I occasionally mark red circles or underlines onto the photocopied sheets of paper that lie on the table in front of me. Wanting a change of scenery from the library and to avoid the distractions of the classroom, I decided to make use of the Shanghai for some quiet study time. It ended up being nice and quiet as expected. Being able to get coffee while I study is a nice bonus. Hanako may have returned to her normal self since she came out of her room. I've done quite the opposite. Daily routine may have returned to us, but I feel as if I'm a different person. Maybe I'm not. It's only been a few days, after all. So I decided I wanted to try and get out of the rut I found myself in after my accident. I want to change, and I'm now actively working towards that goal. Or at least I would like to think I am. Ugh. This is impossible. Brute forcing this isn't going to work. What's more, I have another piece of writing I have to do after this. I fear that's going to be no easier. I look up in mild surprise to the source of the tentative voice. Yuko stands at the head of the table with a damp towel in hand, clearly having taken the opportunity to clean the tables while no other patrons were around. She looks curious, her eyes as much on my work as on me. What's the matter?
I was just wondering, what sort of work are you having so much trouble with?
Oh, it's just history. I'm fine with science and math, so I'm trying to get my other subjects up to par. Yuko looks positively delighted at this development. I feel like I just chose the right answer on some big quiz show. Ding ding ding! Congratulations, Isao! For your efforts in wanting to better yourself, you will now get a good tidbit of Yuko company, as she helps you with history. Yay!
Oh, I think I can help you with that. If you don't mind, of course.
I briefly considered turning down the offer in order to not cause her too much trouble, but she looks too excited about this for me not to do it. It'd be mean to shoot her down like that after such a reaction. If you're willing to help, I'd really appreciate it. She claps her hands together and quickly deposits her towel on the counter before returning and taking a seat across from me. I take my notebook off the top of the textbook and hand it over to her to peruse.
So, you're studying the Edo period.
Yeah, I'm not really much good at this, though. She takes the textbook and reads a few pages from a random section near the middle of it for a bit. The aura of enthusiasm she'd been radiating previously is rapidly sapping away. Guessing this isn't the kind of history you were expecting?
Unfortunately not. My main area is European history, especially in the classical era, sorry.
She looks a bit downcast, but as she carefully closes the book and lays it back down on the table, her face perks up again.
Would you like another cup of coffee?
Oh, yeah, sure. I reach forward and get my book back as Yuko gets up, takes my mug, and slowly walks to the counter to make another brew. As usual, she's absolutely silent as she does this. Every ounce of her concentration is focused on not tripping over or dropping the plain white mug. Take the opportunity to lay back and relax for a bit, the hum of a coffee machine filling the otherwise quiet air. It's small details like this which make me realize how much I've come to appreciate the little things in life. The peace and quiet of the local town, the discipline and order of Yamaku, the green of the trees that were so rare in my home city, the relaxed pace at which the aging residents live their lives. Everything feels so certain. It's comforting. I can feel myself beginning to nod off when the sound of the mug coming to rest on the table grabs my attention. Seems I arrived not a moment too soon. Yuko takes her previous seat again as I pick myself up and bring a hand around the mug to check its temperature. It's just a little too hot to drink right away, so I blow on it a little.
It's a shame you don't like history all that much. I sort of guessed you might be more into science.
How so?
You've nearly read out the science fiction section of the library already. It wasn't hard to notice.
You do have a good point there. Well, what can I say? You pegged me just about right. Sound like you really take an interest in history, though. Especially considering how specific you were about it. Do you study in that area or something? Go on digs overseas? She giggles nervously at thought.
I'd like to visit the Mediterranean sometime and see the old architecture and art for myself, but I don't think I could trust myself to handle such delicate things. I'm saving up to formally study it in university, although I also read up on it whenever I have free time outside of work.
So Miki was right about her university aspirations. Considering how she fares as a waitress, a more theoretical path may suit Yuko better. It's nice to hear that she has some ambitions, though, considering how hard she works. I nod and take a careful sip of my coffee. By now it's cooled to the right temperature. So I begin to drink it while keeping an eye on the book below, trying to read at the same time. A few minutes pass quietly, Yuko looking out the window and watching the world go by while I have my coffee and study. A movement catches my eye, and I look up to see Yuko smiling, waving to someone outside. Following her gaze surprisingly reveals the someone to be Hanako. She's looking at us from the side of the street across from where we are. Her usually all too visible timidity is largely absent, probably thanks to there being so few people around right now. Evidently, she decides to join us after a little wave. She
gives a quick glance up and down the street and crosses toward the side that the cafe is on. The familiar doorbell to the Shanghai rings out as Hanako enters and makes her way to the table we're sitting at. Hello. Good afternoon. Hi, Hanako. What's up? Nothing. Just going for a walk, since the weather was nice. Yeah, I get what you mean. I'm glad I decided to study here instead of the library. It's comfortable in here thanks to that. Better than the sometimes quite stuffy library. I looked at Yuko, who nods in response. It's nice. It's just a shame that summer can't last forever. Oh wait, sorry, would you like a drink? Hanako shakes her head. Thankfully, it's enough to calm Yuko back down. How are you going with studying? Okay-ish? Oh yeah, have you talked with Lily? I'm interested too. How's she doing? She's enjoying it, I think. I think that's all we're going to get out of her. Being around Yuko is tensing her up. Ah, it'd be so nice to travel to Scotland. Green fields, castles, lovely small towns, men in kilts, interesting history. I can't say I see the appeal of men in kilts myself. Yo, pretty badass actually. Does seem like a picturesque place though. So we talk, the jingle of the doorbell rings again. Hanako is startled, noticing Yuko's panicked expression at the prospect that she might leave customers to wait a handful of seconds due to her chatter with us. Yuko gives us a quick bow, then hastily skitters over and greets the new customers, an elderly man and his wife. Watch her for a bit, turning my head around to get a good view. Hanako is staring at me with her one visible eye. She averts her head in embarrassment as I turn to make eye contact. I was just thinking that it's nice to have ambitions for the future. She was telling me a little about her university aspirations before. Oh. It's a shame. She wasn't so neurotic and overworked. I think she could be a really happy person. So I like to play the host to Hanako and entertain her a bit. Do need to study as well. To be honest, I don't think the distraction from Yuko helped either. Sorry if I'm a bit distracted. I need to try and get this done. Otherwise, I'm going to flunk the history exams pretty hard. I'm left running my hand through my hair in frustration. That letter needs doing as well once I get back to my dormitory room. I hope I have more luck with this than that. Than this. Damn. What with? Oh, I was going to write to you, Hanako. Right now, though, this is more important. All I've done is rattle myself. Can't focus on the work in front of me when my stomach is slowly turning at the prospect of actually attempting to write her back after all this time. Force myself to concentrate on the book, picking up my pen once I have a quick sip of coffee. For a few seconds, Hanako stops silently watching me and leans back in her seat, relaxing as much as she ever seems to be able to, looking out the window to pass the time. We stay like this for a long time before leaving for the dormitories together. Surprised she had the patience to wait me out. Yonako's letter lies on my desk beside a blank sheet of lined paper, an unused envelope. The tapping of my pen is the only thing to be heard this late at night. As I feared, my second task for the day turns out to be just as difficult as the first, if not harder. It's been so many months since we ever saw each other. Even so, I can still remember what she looked like, what she sounded like, and what she acted like. Right now, though, the little details are beginning to slip away. First saw her letter, I barely recognized her handwriting at all. Even the pink pen she always used was forgotten until her writing reminded me of it. I wonder why she didn't use it for the letter. She used to write everything with it. Maybe she thinks it's too immature now. I should be thinking about myself and about what I want to communicate to her. My mind can't stop concentrating on her, though. On the past we shared before it was taken away so suddenly. The bright and slightly garish decorations suit her sense of aesthetics. Pick up the letter to take a closer look at it. I give a long sigh. The last link binding me to my past. Hanako didn't suddenly cease to exist when she left my hospital room for the last time, but I needed this letter to remind me of that. I had all of those feelings neatly filed away. Felt as if I didn't need them, that I could just begin life completely anew. It was easier that way. In the end, I suppose that was a rather naive thing to think. Sooner or later, my past would have caught up with me one way or another. What am I supposed to say to her? Thank you for bringing me closure? All the letter did was end the sense of closure I previously felt. Try as I might,
Can't write so much as a single word down on the paper in front of me. Can't even think of what exactly I want to say. Putting a letter down on top of the blank sheet, I gather the materials together and file them away in my drawer. The clunk the desk makes as it closes makes me momentarily tense in frustration. But I get up to go grab a drink from the vending machine on the first floor. I tried, but I couldn't do it. After all the time that passed, I still don't know how to deal with Hanako. I have to talk to somebody. Sometimes the answer, you find it by bouncing your thoughts off someone else. Isao. The library, while not humming with activity, is noticeably more busy than usual. Exams are not far away, and that's reflected in the number of students burying their noses in textbooks at the tables around us. I've been studying quite a lot in the past few days, just like them, in hopes of doing well in the exams. It also means that Hanako and I have been playing games less, so she's begun studying as well just to fill in the time. Nevertheless, I found myself forsaken by her on this particular day. The textbook in front of me has remained on the same page for some time. There's so much reading on subjects, I couldn't care less about it if not for the exams. My mind is beginning to wander. From my eyes flickering over to where Hanako would usually be, just like on the day she wasn't in class, her usual beanbag in the corner of the room is conspicuously unoccupied. It was here that we first really met. I tried to start a conversation with her. She got skittish and eventually bolted from the room altogether. Probably shouldn't smile about it, but it was kind of amusing in hindsight. Nowadays, it's more and more difficult to imagine her doing such a thing. Even with Lily gone, she's been doing well now that she's come out of her room. I want to talk with her, at least play another game of chess. I'm tired of studying. It's been a few days since we've really done anything together. The question of where to find Hanako isn't a particularly difficult one. She's not in the library. Chances are that she's in the tea room for some peace and quiet, or in her dormitory room. Deciding to check them in that order, I pack up my books and make my way out the library. I stretch and give a loud groan as I walk down the hallway. Studying may be frustrating at times, but with the progress I feel I've made, there's also some sense of pride in getting it done. It's a good feeling. There isn't a sound to be heard from inside as I stand in front of the door to Hanako's room. I guess that isn't very indicative of whether she's inside or not, given how quiet she usually is. Still, she wasn't in the tea room. I try knocking lightly to make my presence known. I'm surprised when I find the door unlocked and yielding at my touch. Small creak, the door opens, and it looks like my suspicions were correct. Hanako is indeed here. She's sitting at the table with an open book in front of her. Pays it no heed as she keeps looking out the window. She looks utterly oblivious to my presence. With her head thoughtfully resting on her hand, she looks calm and collected. It's a shame she can't look like this more often. Smiling a little, I walk up to the table and softly speak to her. Good evening, Hanako. Hanako's head turns a little to see me. She's still only half there. I hand on the table and lower my head to better look at her face. I'm really curious about what mood she's in. What's up? She gasps a little, finally acknowledging my presence in the room for the first time. Hanako's blushing really heavily. Her mouth is open just a little, as if paused mid-sentence. Most strikingly, though, is what she's doing. She's looking directly at me. Her eyes are pinned on my own. And we're slowly getting closer. That's a little weird. Pinned my own. From such a close distance that I can almost see my reflection in them. They don't turn away nor move at all. They're absolutely still, just looking into mine. Did it stop? Yeah, it stopped. Okay. It stopped zooming in. That's very, very interesting, though. Like, the whole, like, oh, we're gonna zoom in slowly and make you feel it. They're dark, giving her an almost analytical air. Even when reading on subjects she has no interest in, she appears to be wrapped in her work to a casual observer. She absorbs information very well. Even now I can feel that. I feel like I'm seeing something behind those eyes I never saw before. I don't know what it is, though. Hanako? Her lips move just a little, silently mouthing something. She looks like she's on the verge of saying something, but won't say it. That's the way Hanako always is. On the verge of saying something, but never quite doing it. I look intently into her eyes, I realize something. Everyone has their own thoughts, things they want to say, their own worldview. But I can't work out what Hanako wants to say. I can't work out what she's thinking. I never have been able to. It's frustrating. It feels like I don't know her at all, despite all the time we spent together. It's only now that I find myself blushing. I'm looking directly into Hanako's eyes for such a short distance, absolutely no regard for her. She's been looking into mine without shirking away. I quickly look away while covering my face with my hand. Hanako does just the same. Oh, they're embarrassed. Now the awkward silence reigns. I hate these. First they accept it as just being a fact of life around Hanako. Now, all they feel like is an affirmation of how little we're able to communicate. Some anger makes its way in the complex mixture of emotions I'm experiencing right now. I want to bridge that gap between us. Friends shouldn't have to tiptoe around each other like this. Speak before I can argue myself out of what I'm going to do. My scarring isn't as bad as Hanako's. Can't possibly compare my life to hers, but I want to show her that she's not alone. Doing this in such a blunt manner might be the only way to get my point across. Hanako, I want to show you something. I take a deep breath to prepare myself. This could backfire badly, but I feel as if we've come close enough for this to be okay. I'm not going to strip naked or anything weird. I'm just going to put my dick in a box. No, I'm kidding, guys. I'm just going to take off my shirt. Hanako's eyes grow to the size of saucers. Her face is an amusing mixture of curiosity and nervousness as she stands. Helps take the edge off my own nervousness at doing this in front of another person. Well, we're getting naked for Hanako, guys. Don't worry, this is the all ages version. Slowly, with my entire body feeling tense, I unknot my tie and begin to loose my first of the buttons. I'm trying to mentally block out Hanako to make this easier, but it's not really working. So I work my way down. I expect to hear some form of protest from her. She's remaining silent though, which just makes this feel even stranger. She's like, oh yeah. The last of my shirt unbuttoned, I take a breath and look at her. Hanako's gaze is fixed on my scarring, as expected. And once I nod to say it's okay, she steps forward and tentatively places her hand on the vertical line running down my chest. The scarring on her hand, a pattern of damaged skin across the surface, contrasts with the single uniform line that makes up mine. Her hand isn't trembling at all, unlike what I predicted. This is the scar from the surgery that followed my heart attack. The surgeons had to cut open my chest to operate on my heart. I never knew. Hanako's words are calmer and softer than usual. The soft feelings of her fingers moving from my scar to my breast makes me hesitate a little before continuing on. You're the first person to see this since I left the hospital. But why are you showing this to me? I wanted to prove to myself that I could do this. I could accept my past and move on. I want to show that to you as well. She nods. From her reaction, she seems to know how difficult this is for me. More than anything, the scar represents a visible reminder of my condition. A reminder that I'm not normal anymore. That's something that, until now, I had tried my hardest to ignore. As the minutes tick by, Hanako's gaze lingers. Her eyes look less focused on my scarring than before. The situation feels a bit different than it previously did. It makes me feel slightly uncomfortable. Her hand retreats, and I draw my shirt close and begin to button it up. Her blushing face suddenly returns to its typical tense and timid state as she looks away. The room is completely silent as I fix my shirt and tie. Feeling put off after such an unexpected intimate moment. So, I guess you're not the only one that's scarred. Hanako smiles a little at the joke, thankfully lightening the atmosphere a bit. Thank you, Hisao. I think I understand. I give a long sigh of relief. I don't know how she'd take it, but I'm glad everything seems to have worked out as I hoped. Hanako's smile only proves that further. Finding the path I want to follow now. What Hanako needs to do is find her own. Something that I can't help her with, and something that she needs to overcome her past in order to do so. Hanako checks her watch. It's getting late by now. If you're not sure if you want to sleep, but you're 10 minutes away from the end, yo, get to the end, man. Come on, do it. You can do it, Tom. But if you have to sleep for something, go to sleep. If you have work or whatever. So, yeah, I better be going. I'll be thankful for some sleep. It's been a long day after all. Good night, Hanako. Good night. I make my way out of her room and into the hallway, remaining silent as I do so. I think both of us have gone through a few emotions today. I'm not gonna lie. Out of context, though, that sounds really weird. I walked into a girl's room and I took off my shirt. And then I put it back on and I walked out. I had to see where's fate go. The heat of the summertime sun beats down on my sweating brow. Dabbing with a handkerchief doesn't help too much in making me any more comfortable. Giving up on the idea of getting more done today, I stop and lean against one of the overpass fences, resting my bag on the ground. The stores in the town below Yamako are well stocked and offer enough variety for me to get by. At least an occasional shopping trip to the city is something that really can't be avoided. I've been here a few times now. The city's layout is getting more familiar, the nostalgia from its atmosphere is beginning to wear off. I realize I have become to wheeze, sound like an old man that's overexerted himself. Having to connect that to the fact that I am the source of it is a bit disturbing. Put a hand on my chest and concentrate for a bit to make sure I haven't gone far enough to cause any further problems. Okay. Thankfully, my heart is acting normally. There's no dull pain, and the beating is irregular, I'll bet fast-paced. As I recover from overdoing things in this kind of heat. I hate my body. It's frustrating to be held back, even more to be held back by fear of my life being ended, when doing something as simple as walking around the city for a while. As I ponder on my health, I feel my pocket vibrating. By the time my phone's begun to ring, my hand's already fishing for it. A glance at the screen shows a caller number I don't recognize. Strange. Shrugging, I press the button to answer the call and bring the phone to my ear. Hello? Hanako speaking. Sound of a couple of short breaths can be heard, but no actual speech is forthcoming. Hello? Hisao? It's Hanako. Voice is really easy to place, even if I've never heard it over a phone before. Hanako. Sorry, I wasn't expecting you to call. What's up? If you're not busy, I was wondering if you would like to meet up? Yes, sounds really wound up about this. I can hear muffled voices in the background. And it's about time for afternoon tea, so I guess you'll want me to meet her at the Shanghai or something. That sounds fine. Are you at the Shanghai? I'm in the city. Hanako's here alone? That's a surprise. It's a little wonder she's like this, surrounded by people entirely by herself. It works out well. I'm just wandering around there now. Where are you? Hanako managed to stammer out the street name, address, and some basic directions to where she is. Luckily, it's not too far, so I agreed to see her soon before hanging up. Look up to the sky. The summer heat is beating down. It's the first time Hanako's asked for us to do something together beyond a simple board game. The first time, at least, I've known her, that she'd come to the city by herself. Maybe this means that Lily was right. By the time I manage to stagger up to the cafe where Hanako is, I started to wheeze again, sweating so much that I feel like a melting popsicle and I can barely hold the bag in my hand. I need to sit down badly. Tables outside are all occupied by busily chatting couples and girls gossiping between themselves. The contrast between the different age groups and fashions of the people here and the people from the town near Yamako is striking. I scan over the people sitting at the tables, but I can't see Hanako. She did say she was sitting outside, so I must just be missing her. Not difficult given how small she usually tries to make her presence. Look around again more slowly this time, taking particular care to see if I can find Hanako's hat. It's pretty distinctive, and I'd be very surprised if she wasn't wearing it. There she is. Sure enough, her head is kept low, and the table she's sitting at is right beside the building in an inconspicuous corner. Walk up to where she is, make sure that I have her attention where I sit, lest I give her a scare. She notices me and gives a small wave as I arrive at her table. Are you feeling okay? I try my best to laugh it off, but doing so just makes me more out of breath. Not very fit these days. Don't mind me. Hanako nods, but still looks a bit put off. Now that I can get a good look at her face, something about her seems a bit different. I'm not sure if my eyes are playing tricks on me, but she looks kind of nice. Her eyes move upward to look at me before quickly flicking down again. I begin to think there's going to be a rather quiet meeting, but a waitress thankfully arrives, sets down a cup of tea in front of Hanako. Hanako almost automatically turns slightly away and lowers the side of her head. It's an amazing practice motion, and she does a good job of its intended purpose, hiding her scars from someone who's leaning in close. Her right arm is still on the table though, a scar on the back of her hand quite visible. Catch the waitress' eye and move to quickly distract her. Excuse me, may I place an order?
Waitress nods and gives me a couple seconds to look at the menu. Can I have a mango smoothie, please? She gives a nod before almost enthusiastically bouncing inside. Everything is so different in the city in more ways than one. Hanako looks back up toward me and adjusts her hat a little. She noticed the waitress staring at her scars. She doesn't show it. Not coffee? I think I'd die from this heat if I had something like coffee right now. Resting my head in my hand, I look to my quiet companion. She seems taken aback. Very unexpected reaction to my lame joke. An unwelcome emotion bubbles up inside me as I realize the reason why. Like most of Yamaku, indeed. Unlike anyone there that I'm aware of, my condition goes beyond eliminating the activities I can do. To be more precise, breaching those limits could have much more grave consequences. Thankfully, it's something that's very rarely come up since I entered Yamaku. I thought that was so rare that Hanako and Lily might not think of it at all. Turns out that I was wrong. Hanako silently drinks her tea while I wait for my drink, proving that it's the right temperature with a small sip before she begins in earnest. I feel guilty for being the cause of an uncomfortable silence, since in the past I've been kind of hard on Hanako for those. Eventually, the same waitress as before bounced up, handing me my drink. I gather change from my pocket and drop it off into her waiting hand, before she goes off to attend to another customer. Eyes linger on her as she walks away. Do you think that she looks pretty? Hanako is following my gaze, her gaze taking in the waitress that served us. I feel my blood slowly going to my cheeks as I rest my smoothie back on the table. Nah, can't really say that I'm really into that look. She looks a lot like an old friend I knew before my heart attack. Did you have many friends? I had a few at my previous school, though I wouldn't say a lot. The four of us just hung around together after school and stuff. Do you still talk to them? Shake my head. No, we gradually lost contact while I was stuck in the hospital. You're not saddened by that? Or angry? Hanako looks genuinely surprised. I guess it's the right reaction. Well, life did move on for them while I was stuck in the ward. I was pretty sore about it at the time, but now it's just a bunch of nice memories. Besides, once I came to Yamaku, I found new friends as well. It's quite a whitewash of what my feelings were back then. Went through some dark times during my stay at the hospital, and I really am glad that Hanako and Lily were around to help me after I left. Hanako blushes as we both get down to enjoying our drinks. She seems to have calmed down since I arrived, and I started to feel a little better now that I've had the chance to rest a bit, so this is getting to be a nice outing already. Even if she's calmer than before, though, she's still fidgeting a bit. She runs her hand down one of her bangs as I try to think of something to say. That's right, I was going to ask. Hanako tilts her head quizzically. I didn't know you had a mobile phone. How'd you get my number? Lily gave it to me. I should have guessed. You know, you could have just asked. I'd have given it to you. Want to exchange email addresses? Hanako nods, setting down her drink and fishing out her phone from her pocket as they do the same. Surprising, the same model as mine. Pink, though. Nice phone. That's cute. I used to do that too, man. Except no one has the same phone I do. Anyway. She looks at me with a curious expression for noticing my phone and giggling. It's one of the very few times I've seen Hanako let her guard down enough to do such a thing. I didn't pick it out myself, though. Oh. It was a present from Lily. I never really needed a phone, and I couldn't afford one. She bought me one for Christmas, though, saying that we could use it to keep in touch. We see each other basically every day anyway, both in and out of school. And again, Lily does have her class representative duties and other friends that she talks with. It'd probably help with her situations like this too, when she's gone away for a while. Lily's a very special friend, very special person to you, isn't she? She is. I love her very much. Hanako looks down and smiles as she thinks of her. None of my friendships were as deep as theirs, and I have to admit to myself that I'm a little jealous of their relationship. Tell each other our email addresses and thumb them into our respective phones. I got Hanako's number from earlier and put it into my contacts list. Done. That makes 3 now. 3? Lily, Akira, and you. Ah, Akira. She's an interesting person, isn't she? She is. She's also really nice, though. Her suit makes her look a bit cool. I'm a little surprised you know each other well with her job taking up so much of her time. Hanako looks down a little and takes another sip of her drink. If I wasn't looking intently at her face, I missed a small smile perch on it. I guess when she knows so few people, those she knows must mean a lot to her. How many do you have? Me? about 9 or 10. I hesitate to go into them for fear of rubbing in the fact that Hanako doesn't have parents, or apparently even close relatives. Two of those are Shizune and Misha too, which is another can of worms. I imagine that Lily would have more than both of us put together, probably. Hanako gives a childish giggle, and I can't help smiling. It's a good feeling that she's gotten this comfortable around me. At times like this, I feel like I'm getting close to talking to her true self. Do you mind if I ask something I've been wondering? Hanako shakes her head as she takes the last sip of her tea, finishing it off. You don't seem very jealous of Lily having lots of friends. Don't you want to make some more friends yourself or get to know some of hers? I'm not jealous. I don't like people, so I don't mind not having many friends. That's really not the answer I was expecting. She doesn't look fearful or sad as she says this, but rather quite serious. Hanako rubs her arm awkwardly, having taken my quietness as a reason to continue. I'm not really sure what I should say, so I end up simply giving her my attention in silence. In middle school, I got bullied. A lot. I was called names. I got excluded from work groups, and sports teams. There were worse things too. And that's what made you not like other people? She shakes her head. That was elementary school. I feel bad for bringing this up now. Adults have enough problems dealing with Hanako's scarring. Children will be all the worse. I assumed that the way she tried to make her presence not felt was just to avoid people staring at her, or because she was afraid of them. Certainly not because she genuinely didn't want to interact with them in the first place as well. I noticed the condensation from my neglected smoothie forming a little puddle around the bottom of the cup, so I take the opportunity to finish it off. As I drink, she begins to fiddle with her phone. Looks like she's remembered the people around her again and begun to tense up. It isn't exactly a cheap phone. I had to save up for quite a while to afford one when I got mine. Lily went to a private school. She probably wouldn't have too much trouble getting one for her present, though. Watching her fiddle with it gives me an idea. Hey, Hanako, wait for me. I'll be right back. Put the now empty cup down, slip my phone into my pocket, begin to move off, carefully stepping around the bag I placed beside my feet. Thankfully, sitting around while talking to Hanako has helped me feel a lot better than before. Wait, what? Where are you going? Just stay there. I'll be back in a bit. As much as I'd like to have jogged back, I know full well that I couldn't. I end up walking back to the cafe, a little blue bag in my right hand. Hanako noticed me quickly, looking around as confused as she did when I left. Deposit the diminutive bag in front of her and sit back down. Is this... It's for you. You can open it. But... Go on. She looks very unsure about it, but eventually gives in, slowly opening the bag, picks its contents out. Yo, that's a really cute phone strap. A silver chain phone strap dangles from her fingers, ending in a delicate flower. Isn't exactly a masterwork of jewelry, but it's about as much as I could afford. Hanako's eyes light up when she looks at it. It's the kind of reaction I was hoping for. Summer sunlight glints off silver as it twists to and fro a little. It's not too ostentatious, but still looks a little charming. I think it suits her well. Hanako lowers the phone strap to the table and looks to me once more. But it's not Christmas or my birthday. It's fine, don't worry about it. I just thought it might be nice to have something to decorate your phone with. I don't have anything to give to you. I told you it's fine. Friends can give things to each other like this sometimes, right? Friends. Hanako lowers her face so much that I can't see her expression. She eventually nods before taking her phone and fiddling with the strap to attach it properly. Aww. It's cute. She looks to me and smiles as she holds up her phone, now adorned with a little flower. I'm actually not sure how she got that strap on though, because the phone doesn't look like a model that has like a removable plastic thing to put the strap on like that. So I'm not sure how did she do that? I'm just saying, I'm confused. A little confused. Still a cute phone strap though. Thank you, Hisao. Her smile proves infectious. Out of the corner of my eye, I notice a couple getting up and leaving. I was at the bus back to the town below. Yamako will be coming soon. Guess I better be going if I want to catch the next bus back to town. You coming as well? Yes. She hastily nods before carefully putting her phone back into her pocket and getting out of her chair. I do the same and pick up the bag I left beside me on the way out.
We walk side by side as we make our way to the bus station, exchanging no words between us. Hanako's gaze is firmly locked ahead of her, though she looks very happy with herself. I'm not sure what I should say to her. I'm also not sure that I need to say anything. The fact that Hanako is happy, and happy because of me, is enough to make the load on my arm feel light as a feather. Yeah. Hanako just breaks the laws of physics. I mean, that's fair. I knew what we were saying, so it's okay, Tom. Finally reaching the classroom after the usual walk from the dormitories. I step inside. My eyes immediately turn to the third seat from the left in the back row, Hanako's seat. It's empty. After glancing around the classroom, it looks like she isn't here yet. 2 girls from the newspaper club are here in the 2 seats to the left of Hanako's, as are Shizen and Misha, but that's about it. Exchange morning greetings before I take my seat. I have to admit that this is a bit of a relief. It's going to be at least a few more minutes to think. Now that I haven't been doing so previously ever since our trip to town, Hanako's been on my mind. I still don't know what to make of my relationship to Hanako. I like her. I can admit that much to myself. To protect and shield her from the pain she feels. I really don't think my feelings are just those of friendship anymore. That said, I feel like I don't even know her. How's the song go? Don't say you love me, you don't even know me. If you really want me, then give it some time. Why did that song come to my head? I don't know. If I made a move on her, how would she take it? Is she in an emotional state that allows her to make a reasonable decision about a relationship? How would she cope with anything that might happen afterwards? There is also a possibility that I'm just completely misinterpreting Hanako. Not a difficult thing to do with someone whose social skills seem to be so underdeveloped. The sound of footsteps come to the door, making me perk up. Ends up just being Miki. Ah, just that girl, whatever. She barely acknowledges my existence when I accidentally make eye contact with her. About to look away, but another person comes in not long after she takes her seat. I feel myself freeze as I see Hanako enter. This isn't a rational reaction. I have no idea how I should act or what I should say to her. For a moment our eyes meet. And then, just as quickly, she looks away and moves to her seat without saying a single word. Man. As is now usual for the period following classes, her face is buried deep in a book that I find thoroughly uninteresting. Studying is not something that comes naturally to me. I didn't study a lot before coming to Yamaku. Until now, I've largely managed to coast through my own talent alone. It's frustrating that I can't do that anymore. Judging by the faces of the other few students in the library, I don't think I'm alone in my distaste for this. Misery loves company, I suppose. True. Decided to spend lunchtime with Hanako since we haven't had lunch together for a while now. Might as well have spent the time studying, though. Aside from pathetically small snippets of small talk, there was barely a word said between us. Why does she keep doing this to me? I want to protect her, to be there for her. Every time I feel like I were coming closer, rather further away. Are you busy? Hanako! My head whips around in surprise, causing her to retreat in fright. That was bad timing. If I had been thinking about her at that very moment, I probably wouldn't have been nearly so startled. Sorry, you just startled me. I'm still staring at her longer than I should, so I go back to the text lying on the table in front of me. More like I'm just staring at the words rather than actually reading. I get the feeling Hanako can notice this as well, so I sigh and close the book. What's up? I was just wondering what you were reading. She looks a little downcast at my reaction to seeing her. Giving up on the process of getting any more work done, I get up and return the book to its place on a nearby shelf. Just an English textbook. Has it helped? Helped me realize that I don't like English, yeah. Hanako gives a small giggle. I may muse on the strange state of our friendship, but do know that such little gestures are things I wouldn't see were I not at least some distance closer to her than when we first met. Look at her for a moment, think about what I do and don't know about her. It's a slightly depressing topic. Is something wrong? I want to know more about her. Maybe I should stop being so evasive about it. Talking with Lily as an equal rather than being constantly in fear of causing her to become upset worked fine. So just try a straightforward approach with Hanako as well. Hey Hanako, do you mind if I ask you a question? I don't mind. I want to know what your life was like. Your life before coming to Yamaku. She hesitates. I briefly considered backing off, but she seems to be taking the question quite seriously. I sit and watch her, silently letting her take her time. She's not making eye contact with me, but it looks almost as if she's arguing with herself into letting herself open up to me more. Her answer finally comes in a stiff, almost reluctant nod. She looks far more tense than she did before I asked. Okay, but in return, you have to tell me about your life as well. I nod, and I follow her as she begins to walk out of the library so we can talk. By now, most of the students have already left the main building, so apart from a few people hovering around clubs, the hallways are largely empty. I guess we'll start with coming to Yamaku. Let's see. I was in the hospital when my parents first told me about Yamaku Academy. The doctors told me I shouldn't go to my old school anymore. My parents agreed and persuaded me to apply for Yamaku, though it would mean living away from them for the first time. It must have been hard for you. Well, yeah, I have to admit that it was. My parents both work long hours and full time, so having to live reasonably independently wasn't anything new to me. It's the fact that I was going to a school for disabled students that hit hardest, I think. And you? A small group of chatting girls passed us as we neared the stairs, and with Hanako pressing herself tightly to my side, we reached the ground floor. She doesn't usually come this close while just walking to school, so I'm left a little put off. Staff at the orphanage offered me some options on what I could do. Middle school hadn't been good, so I thought that Yamaku might be better. It was isolated. I thought it might be easier to get by here with most of the others being disabled. It's pretty ironic that the reasons Hanako looked forward to Yamaku are the exact reasons I hated the idea. To me, it felt like I was being shunted somewhere away from society and everyone I knew. To Hanako, that was probably an inviting prospect. What was life like at the orphanage? It was okay. Staff there were nice, and they took care of us. The children there didn't talk to me much, but I didn't really want to talk to them either, so I didn't mind. The orphanage had a little library, so I started to read to pass the time. The staff didn't mind it because it made me easier to handle than many of the other children. You didn't make any friends there? No. I think my life was on hold. During that time I knew that, but I didn't mind. To think her life was on hold for all that time, though. Depending on when the fire happened, that was a huge chunk of her life. No parents, no friends, apparently no relatives. It's actually very interesting, yeah. We walked through the door into the courtyard. I expect to need to avert my eyes from the sun, but by now it's well into the sunset. Hanako's eyes keep flicking to me, so I look away from her for a bit. What was it like in the hospital? I quickly clear my thoughts and try to refocus them. I hesitate for a bit, but I know that I have to tell her. Close enough for her to feel comfortable telling me this, so it's only fair that I reciprocate. It was okay at times, but at others it was pretty bad. At the beginning, everyone sent their sympathies and came to visit often. It's just like breaking an arm or something. Meeting all my friends was one of the good times. Iwanako came in often as well, more often than anyone else. But there were bad times too. Friends slowly stopped visiting. I began to realize how grave my situation was, reminding me that this wasn't just a broken limb, that I was now a different person than before. Even the times Iwanako would spend with me became torturous. By the end, we were reduced to silence, whereas before, she'd be talking constantly. But that's how Iwanako always was. She'd been a fragile person, but she would talk constantly to try and hide that fact. Not about anything in particular, just talk. The three lowest points would have been when my parents told me I wouldn't be going to my old school anymore, my birthday passing while I was in the hospital, and when Iwanako left for the last time. We leave the school building behind us as we begin to follow the main path through the gardens. There may have been the odd bystander in the school buildings, but outside we're practically alone. What was your middle school like? I liked it. I grew up in a really metropolitan area, and middle school was nearby. So it was pretty crowded. I didn't mind it, probably because I'm used to being in crowds and around lots of other people. I got good grades, and I played soccer with my friends. Spent a fair bit of time hanging out with them after school as well. Did get teased a bit over my hair, though. Your hair? I grimaced a little as I put a hand over my hair to cover it. I keep getting tufts and strands I refused to flatten or stay where I wanted them. Mother wouldn't let me just get my hair shaved. It had a habit of popping out no matter how much I tried to brush it down. It still does a little. I was worried I'd get that reply. Sorry, I didn't mean to. I give a mild laugh and wave it off. It's fine. I know it still does. Feels strange to have someone act so interested in my past. For anyone else, I think they were just acting polite. That's something I really don't think Hanako would do. Or if she did, she'd do it so badly it would be obvious. There are a number of girls in the common room on the ground floor, and Hanako presses herself to my side once more as we pass them. I expect her to break off, but instead she continues to cling on to me as we walk towards the stairway. Something about the way she's holding on to me feels different than usual. I'm left deep in thought as we walk up the stairs and down the hallway. It's only when we stop that I look up and realize I have been following her without question. Why do we come to your dormitory room? She looks straight at the door without so much as a glance in my direction. Hanako? She moves to answer but stops herself. So she suddenly breaks from my side, opens her door, and steps inside. Look up and down the hallway a bit lost. That's exactly what I should do. Shrugging, I decide to follow her since I don't have any reason to otherwise. Hanako stands in the middle of her room and looks straight at me. It's unnerving when she does this, as it's such an unusual action for her. My mouth to speak, but she preempts me. Could you close and lock the door? Hanako's hands reaches for her chest, grabbing her blouse at her heart. I turn and lock the door shut and freeze. The atmosphere is beginning to feel quite strange. Something is only made more profound when I hear the curtains being pulled behind me. It's going to be night soon. We're a guy and a girl in a bedroom. She's closing the curtains. I'm shutting and locking the door. She can't. She can't really have that in mind, can she? I gulp and turn around very slowly. Hanako's in the center room but hasn't turned back to face me. You told me about your past, so I have to tell you mine. She takes a deep, shuddering breath and pauses for a number of seconds. Hands move to her ribbon and begin to tug, all but confirming my thoughts. Hanako. Please, don't say anything. I obediently stay hushed as she slips off her ribbon, continues to unbutton her blouse before working the clip on her bra. The process is slow. Perhaps it just feels slow because of what she's doing. I'm not sure. Should I be censoring this? Should I be worried? Do I need the Alright, where is my thing? Oh shoot, where's my censor thing? Oh, give me a second, guys. Just in case. Oh yeah, I don't have it. Oh, okay. Just in case, where is the image files? Not there. Is it in this one? No. You know, it sucks when you have a giant folder that has a bunch of things, and you put things in random places, and you go, "Oh, I can't find it," and I go, "Yeah, that's so bad." Give me a moment. We're going to find this, just in case this is bad. Where did I put my thing? Oh, there it is. Okay. So just in case, get this nice picture. That's in the wrong spot, but you know what? Put it right there. Nothing's happening, okay? Nothing. Hopefully nothing's happening. It's just the girls of Katawa Shoujo, guys. Just in case. Frozen to the spot, all I can do is watch as Hanako, hands trembling, unclips her skirt and lets it drop to the ground. Oh. Okay. No, it's that. Oh. Okay. Finally, she takes her blouse in her hands and draws it off, her bra falling from her shoulders, and so Hanako stands in the middle of the room, all but bared, save for her stockings and underwear. This is me. all of me. My eyes are immediately drawn to the scarring on her back. The skin on her right side is of a similar texture as that of her face, but it's also stretched taut and covering a much larger area. Scarring is by far the worst on her shoulder and buttocks and thigh. Judging as my heart attack redefined my life, this is the event that redefines Hanako's. If I'd seen this when I first met her, I'd have been shocked. Not only at the sight, but also at the idea that something like this was survivable. After having had time to get used to the idea, after seeing the scars on her face, hands, and collar, my reaction is more measured. My reaction right now is not due to her scarring, but to her body. The fire happened when I was 8 years old. It was night, and we were sleeping when it started. Hanako's voice trembles, shaking her blouse, giving away the fact that her hands are doing just the same. I curled up into a ball. The fire swept over me. My mother tried to shield me. That's the only reason I lived. Hanako's eyes begin to moisten, voice cracking under the combined pressure of her exposing herself to me like this and reliving those painful memories from so long ago. I want to say something, anything, make her feel better. I can't though. I feel completely useless when faced with a situation like this. It's forcing itself to come so close. It's at times like this that I feel most distant to her. I'm sorry for making you see this. There's no point denying the obvious. I think what I should say now, and what Hanako wants me to say now, is the truth. I genuinely honestly believe. It doesn't matter. You're a wonderful person, Hanako. Your body doesn't change that. She looks at me for some time, her breathing uneven as she tries to remain steady amidst the emotions we're both feeling. Feels less like she's looking at me than she's looking through me. Slowly walk toward her, gently place my hands on her shoulders as she lets go of her blouse. She gasps a little, not in fright but in simple startlement. Being so close to her caused my mind to become a jumble of feelings. Scarring on her shoulder, plain to see and leather-like to the touch, conflicts strangely with her otherwise soft skin and silky dark hair. Hanako is a girl with all that entails. She's taller than usual for a woman, but still has curves in all the right places. The nape of her neck, just visible thanks to her hair slung over her shoulders, alluring. I know that I'm not pretty like Lily. I just want you to see me. The real me. I've already seen the real you, though. You didn't need to take off your clothes for that. Her lips are open just a little bit. She lets out a sharp breath as, without thinking, breathlessly lean forward and press my lips to hers. The kiss only lasts for a fleeting moment before our faces part, our breathing quick and nervous. The feeling of Hanako's mouth lingers and her eyes remain locked to mine. I guess I should censor it, but like the story has really drawn me in, so I'm probably just gonna rate this a mature stream because, obviously it's not about like sexual content or anything, it's like actual seriousness. Trembling a little myself, I removed my tie and began undoing the buttons of my shirt. I don't know. Maybe I should censor right there. There you go. Just in case. Trembling a little myself, I removed my tie and began undoing the buttons of my shirt. Hanako remains standing where she is, looking at the ground in front of her rather than watching me undress. On the one hand, I'm thankful for that. I've always been somewhat self-conscious of my body, but my scarring has made that quite a lot worse. Rather though, this atmosphere feels very strange. My shirt falls to the floor in a heap, as untidy and crumpled as Hanako's blouse and skirt. Hanako's entire body visibly flinches at the sound of the zipper on my trousers being pulled down. My trousers join my shirt on Hanako's floor, next to the bed, as do my socks in short measure. I hesitate before taking off my boxer and leaving them. Okay. I'm just gonna censor the rest of the game right now. I thought this was turned off. You guys enjoy that, okay? Okay. I'll go through it, and if it actually like goes into an H scene, like I'm just gonna like skip through that. They represent one last hurdle I don't think I can overcome quite yet. Sheer embarrassment stops me, along with not wanting Hanako to get even more worked up. My unease about the situation has also left me needing my own stimulation. Hanako. She gives a nod without so much as glancing at me and makes her way to the bed as I do. She walks out of her legs were wooden sticks. I find it amusing if I weren't doing exactly the same thing. I take the initiative, turning around and sitting on the side of the bed. I look to her face to invite her to take a seat either next to me or in front of me. I end up awkwardly looking down to stop myself from staring at her body. Oh my god, I'm not gonna lie. I am not gonna lie. They just literally, with the heartbeat sound, had a picture of grilled shrimp. Grilled shrimp! That was amazing. And then after a couple seconds, it ends. The sound of Hanako's breathing my own rings in my ears, almost painfully loudly. Hanako holds an arm over her face, mouth open and gulping in air. As I hold myself over her, suddenly my arms almost give way. Vision distorts, as if someone grabbed it and pulled sideways. I let myself fall sideways onto the bed beside the panting Hanako for fear of falling onto her instead. Both lie beside each other naked and pressed against one another in order to fit on a bed made for a single person. My eyes try to focus on the ceiling, to not much success. Putting a blanket over us to stave off the cold is all I can do. Yes. So, never mind. Okay, so they do show some depictions of nudity tastefully. And then I think they actually skipped the scene with grilled shrimp. Grilled shrimp. I apologize. I censored that now. I wish you could have seen that. But you're not going to. Anyway. In fact, I'll probably have to censor that for the actual YouTube video. Actually, I think, though, I am now required to actually mark this I'll have to mark it later, but I will have to mark it as an adult or for mature audiences live stream, which I will do. But yeah, for now we can come back. Just here. Okay, the sweat that accumulated on my body feels uncomfortable. We're both physically and emotionally exhausted and a complete mess all over. My vision slowly begins to return to normal as it continues to stare at the ceiling, but my limbs still feel like jelly. I try to concentrate on my chest and find its beat irregular and mildly painful. This is a dangerous time. I have to think this through and not panic, lest I make my situation any worse. With a huge effort, I take control of my erratic breathing, forcing myself to make long, deep breaths. I count half a dozen before I start to feel physically calm again. Press my hand to my chest to assure myself. My heart beats back to normal. I'm okay. I turn my face toward Hanako, who's already looking at me. Her expression looks pretty dazed, but underneath that, there's definitely a look of concern. She's realized what's happened. I'm okay. Everything's back to normal. I find myself barely able to get the words out between breaths. I don't think sex would tire a normal body out this much, so I have no doubt my condition's at least partially at fault. Why did my body have to do this right now? All thoughts of my heart, though, are pushed aside as I see the wide smile forming on Hanako's face. As always, I smile back without another thought. Hanako's smile always has been infectious in its almost childlike sweetness and earnesty. Something that sets her apart from anyone else I know. Right now, we don't need words. Everything we want to communicate to each other, we can share just fine without them. The game's not over yet. It ain't over until you get credits. I might have to censor that for YouTube too when I re-upload this one. Damn. My eyes feel heavy as they slowly open. The light from outside making me blink a bit to let them get adjusted. My eye feels like lead, and my head feels just as heavy. Waking up to an unfamiliar ceiling is an uncomfortable feeling. Reminds me of the first time I woke to the dimpled white tile ceiling of the hospital. It's only after spending a few seconds staring up at it that I realize where I am. This is Hanako's dormitory room. I feel as though my heart stopped again. As the events of last night rush through my head, blood rushes to my cheeks and I shut my eyes once more. It's very little point to getting myself worked up this early though, so I try to push things out of my mind for now. Hold my head to the side to see if Hanako's where she was when I drifted off to sleep. All that's there is now is an empty space on the bed in the room beyond. I sluggishly sit up and rub my eyes before pinching the bridge of my nose and looking around the room. Did he have his medicine? The only person here is me, still bereft of my clothes, and after a quick scan of the floor for them, notice that they're neatly folded in a corner of the room. Try as I might, I can't see Hanako anywhere. The foil packet for the condoms been removed too, presumably put in the bin. Great yawn, I get myself out of bed and quickly look for some underwear. I was a little at the prospect of putting my boxers back on after yesterday's efforts did a good job on them, but I don't have much choice. Taking advantage of the fact that I have some time without anyone around, get myself dressed for the coming school day in short order. Then, I'm alone. If I have anything more to busy myself with, mine becomes focused on the fact that I'm standing in another person's bedroom after we spent the night together. There's not a single sign of her around. My gut proves to be more helpful than my brain at working out this riddle. The loud growl reminds me that she may well just be getting breakfast. I would like to wake up next to her, but maybe it's a good thing that I have a few moments alone. Hanako's room, as always, is quite bleak in appearance. There are precious few decorations and practically no personal artifacts that aren't hidden away in cupboards or drawers. She's lived here for 3 years, but the room looks as if it has barely been occupied for a single day. I shouldn't overthink this. She might just like living this way, as some do. Having the ability to put such low stock in physical possessions does have its advantages, but even so, it feels a little disconcerting given her past. She says she viewed herself as having had her life on hold while at the orphanage. She certainly lives as if she still does, but after what happened last night, it's pretty hard to imagine that she still thinks this way. The sound of the door handle cracks through my thoughts, and I turn to face it. Sure enough, Hanako comes through and shuts the door behind her. She has what seems to be 2 microwave instant meals in her hands, so this is a little difficult. Good morning, Hanako. Morning. She gives a little bow before making her way to her desk, setting down both plates. I now see them to be small satay dishes, their contents steaming with a fork stuck inside the rice of each. I give thanks to her for bringing them in. We each take one and get down to eating. She sits on her desk chair while I sit on the side of the bed. I don't like talking while eating, so the silence between us isn't annoying in and of itself. It's the fact that it only exists because we don't quite know what to say to each other that's off-putting. Hanako glances towards me every so often as she eats. I only notice her doing so because I'm doing just the same thing. We're eating together as if we're a couple. We even had sex last night. First for the both of us. Something feels wrong though. Maybe that's why we can't say even a word to each other as we finish our plates and leave them in the sink. Maybe that's why we leave Hanako's room without holding hands or making small talk. Maybe that's why it feels as if we're further apart than we've ever been. We're into the classroom together, neither of us so much as glancing at each other. Just after we do so, I realize this may have been a mistake. She lifts her eyebrows at the sight, her suspicions raised. We reach the center aisle between the classroom's desks and look to each other. I'm not quite sure what I should say. Does she want me to address her as a girlfriend? I didn't think our relationship was... Oh, that's why this feeling's so strange. See you. Okay. I awkwardly hold up a hand as we part and take our seats at our respective desks. Can't even look back to her out of embarrassment. I feel like the gulf between Hanako and me is because of me. She then begins to make her way toward me, but then Muto enters the room. Yeah, I'm still here. Yo, you missed it. I had to censor something. Except I didn't. In fact, I robbed the best censorship of a potentially intimate scene from you guys. And I got to see it. It was hilarious. I'm thankful for his arrival being so well timed, drawing Susan and her questioning away to wait for another time. I wouldn't have been able to answer her anyway. I like Hanako, but I've never told her what my feelings for her are yet. Hanako never says she saw me as anything beyond a friend either, but despite that we slept together. The bell to signal the beginning of lunch rings out. Muto is taken a little off guard, his chemistry lecture being cut off mid-sentence, much to his chagrin. For the entirety of the class, his rambling has passed through one ear and out the other as my mind mulls over the question of Hanako. Can't get her out of my mind, and by now I've managed to wind myself up about it. I realized she never said yes to what we did. She didn't say no either, but would she have been able to? She's extremely submissive at the best of times, and no doubt it took her a gargantuan effort to show me her scarring. I decided to try it and at least make conversation with her. That would be better than the monosyllabic communication that's been the most we managed between each other so far today. I walked to her desk continuing to chat, but she awkwardly blushed and looked down even before I come up to her. Take a breath to speak, but find myself lost for words. What in the world should I say to her? Hearing approaching footsteps, I turned to see Shizuo and Misha already making their way toward us, no doubt with intent to start asking troublesome things. A couple other classmates looking at us, gossiping between themselves as they throw sidelong glasses. They must also have noticed Hanako and me coming in together earlier. I open my mouth to reassure Hanako, but she preempts me. I'm gonna go do something. She gets out of her chair and dashes for the door. A couple of the books and pens that was on her desk are sent falling to the floor in a rush. Not many people seem to care about this event. If you look around to see what all the fuss is about, go back to what they were previously doing soon after. I left despairingly looking at the door that Hanako disappeared out of. The idea of running after her passed through my mind, but I'm fairly certain that Hanako can run faster than I can. Besides, what would I say to her once I caught up to her anyway? Eventually, I simply crouched down and began picking up the items that had fallen to the ground from her desk. I feel low in every way, reduced to this as students pass by me on their way out of the room. I feel a tap on my shoulder. I look up to see Shizuo and Misha looking at me, curiosity about the situation written on their faces, mixed with a slightly apologetic look at the idea that they were partially responsible for what just happened. Hee-chan, if we can help at all! I shake my head. This isn't a matter for them. For Shizuo's expression and tone of Misha's voice, I think they know the same thing. Shizuo acknowledges my response and gives a solemn bow before making her way out of the room. Misha soon follows her out, obediently following her role as she's in his shadow. I pick myself up, books and pens in hand, and place them inside Hanako's desk. With the classroom now empty, I end up just leaning against her desk and thinking to myself in silence. I feel like there's a complete emotional disconnect between Hanako and me. We haven't known each other for all that long. Despite wanting to start going out with her, I really don't know that much about how Hanako views things. I'm studying as hard as I can for the exams. I still don't feel like I have any real sense of direction behind it. I tried to be a friend to Hanako, even if I couldn't tell her my feelings, and all we've done is drive each other apart. I couldn't even write a letter back to the one girl who ever loved me, Hanako. What should I do? What can I do? I simply don't know the answer to either of those questions. I do know that nobody else can help me with them. Just going back to the way things were would be enough to make me happy, but I know that it can never happen. Something changed between us last night. Maybe it changed beforehand, and it just came to a head then. I know that there's a wall that Hanako has between me and her. I've been hitting that wall every time I try to interact with her on any level. But now I'm beginning to think that I have my own wall between us just as much as she does. She had to practically drag my past out of me, and mine was much less traumatic than hers. I want to say it's because I haven't had long to adjust since my heart attack, but I know full well that it would just be an excuse. The only time I can recall when it really felt like she was opening up to me of her own accord was when we were playing billiards in the city. I was the one who stopped her from going further. I want to know Hanako better. I want to save our friendship, not begin a real relationship with her. My mind begins to tick as I sit against her desk, thinking to myself in the empty classroom that we spent so much time in together. I have to talk to Hanako. I pace around in the park, feelings of anxiety rolling over me. Every so often I reach in my pocket to take out my phone, but each and every time I hesitate, I end up slipping it back in. If this were any normal situation, I wouldn't be cutting classes. Unfortunately, it isn't, and so I find myself in the town below the school at 2 in the afternoon. Ever since I met Hanako, I've been the one to initiate everything between us. The one that started conversations, went to her wherever she went, suggested we should do. Today, this once, I don't want to be the only one doing that. My hand dives into my pocket once more. This time I quickly navigate to texting menu before I have a chance to change my mind. Hanako, if you want to talk, I'll be at the park in town for a while. Finding a last measure of doubt, I thumb in my message and Hanako pressed the button to send it. And now, I wait. My part in this has been fulfilled. What needs to happen now is for Hanako to make the decision. It would be meaningless for me to drag her here. She needs to decide for herself whether she wants to meet me. The apple juice from the vending machine tastes awfully bitter as I swill it down. My grip on the can has caused it to dent slightly in the middle. I shouldn't be this tense, but it's probably inevitable. Hanako is dear to me. What happened in the last couple of days has put a lot of pressure on both of us. The idea of losing all the progress we made coming closer to one another, losing our friendship as a whole, is deeply unsettling. But even then, I still don't really know how close we are. We may have had sex, but before that, all I knew us was to be friends. Maybe we are more than that, but if so, I never realized it. Maybe that's why I feel so uneasy right now. I don't understand Hanako despite all the time we've spent together. The minutes are ticking by, and I still have no idea whether she'll show up. Hisao. Pause for a moment, almost not believing that I'm hearing the voice I'm hearing. Drop the can and stand up with the start. Hanako. We look at each other for a few seconds before Hanako becomes too embarrassed to maintain eye contact and begins to nervously fiddle with the roughly cut lock of hair covering the side of her face. I went to see Hanako in her room by myself after her breakdown. I had no idea what to say. That was fine then. All either of us wanted was each other's presence. Now though, I feel like I need to talk to her directly, to break down this wall between us before it forces us apart for good. Hanako, what we did that night. How should I interpret that? Hanako stops playing with her hair and looks at me, her head cast slightly downwards. She looks ashamed, which is probably a good mirror of how I would look now if I weren't so concerned. I thought it might eventually go away if I was only someone you need to protect. I thought that if I let you do that, you might see me as someone more than that. First reaction is disbelief, but I did do it with her after all. I had plenty of opportunities where I could have stopped things, stepped back and questioned what we were doing. In the end though, I didn't. A horrible feeling rises in the pit of my stomach. She offered herself to me because of what she thought I wanted, and now feels like I took advantage of her. She may have been willing, but only under false premises. I've never been good at hiding my emotions from physically showing, and now it's no different. Hanako looks down once more, a strange mixture of depression and regret and sickness written into her face. Thick silence hangs in the air, save for the breeze blowing through the trees around us. I knew you couldn't look at me that way. Uncle's words are said in a little more than a whisper, seemingly directed just as much as herself as to me. In what way? What do you mean? All I ever was to you was a useless person. Just someone to protect. Someone like a child. I wanted to be more to you than that. But after so long, I got used to it. The tone of her voice is unlike any I've heard her use before. Sounds disgusted, not at me but at herself. After I came out of my room, I saw that you had started drifting away. I felt like I was going to lose you because you want somebody you could have that kind of relationship with. We were more quiet in school than before. We were getting on so well with Yuko. I thought that I might lose you. I thought I was bored of her because I wanted a romantic relationship. But we're friends, right? I wouldn't just abandon you like that even if what you're saying was true. Friendship was something I thought I'd given up on. I stopped believing in others after what happened after the accident. Before the accident happened, I got on well with people and other children. I didn't have many friends, but I didn't mind, because I treasured the ones I had. Afterwards, though, I was called names by the others and teased a lot. It hurt really deeply. Teachers tried to help me. They couldn't do much, and even many of them recoiled just at the sight of me. Among those calling me names and teasing me were ones I thought were my closest friends. From then on, I believed that it didn't matter if nobody else acknowledged me. All my existence ever did was make people troubled, after all. It was easier if I just didn't exist. But after meeting Lily and then you, I tried, but I couldn't make myself think that way again. All that time, she didn't trust me. She thought just like everyone else in her life had, that she was worthless. Someone to throw away once I got bored of being with her. That hurts. That's the one kind of person I never ever wanted to be seen as. Because I know better than most just how horrible it feels to be thrown away by those who I thought liked me. Just cracking for the memories he's bringing up. I feel useless, completely unable to console her. In a strange way, though, I'm almost thankful that she's allowing me to know this. The wall between us is going away, even if it hurts so badly to bring it down. Hanako, if you just told me, was I wrong? Of course, She wasn't. Hanako wasn't wrong. It's difficult to force myself to admit this, but I know trying to deny it is pointless. To me and to Lily, she was someone we tried to protect. She had become to me what I'd become to my friends after my heart attack, a broken person. I liked her, possibly even loved her, but I never acted on that precisely because I thought she was so fragile. I mean, I don't look at you that way now. I got worried about you after what happened to you in class. I thought I should try to protect you. When you locked yourself in your room, though, I got afraid. Thought you were rejecting me, and it forced me to think about a lot of different things. I wasn't rejecting you. She blurts it out with an almost scared tone to her voice, taking me off guard. She quickly becomes embarrassed by her outburst before clenching her fists and working through what she wants to say in her mind. I wouldn't ever do that. Not to you. Even though I was scared, even though I tried to push you away, you still tried to get closer to me. I locked myself away because I was just a burden to you, to Lily, to everyone. Every birthday was the same. Everyone doing their best to pretend that I mattered. Everyone pretending everything was alright for that one day of the year. I didn't want to exist, but they wouldn't let me. Even after meeting Lily, everything was the same. I was as useless as I'd always been, unable to do anything for her or for myself. I didn't want to be the same way to you. Lily and I were completely wrong. From what she said, everything we did for her would have only made her feel worse. Even what little I thought I had right about her was a complete misjudgment. After you locked yourself in your room, I decided to try to work out my past as well, and sort out my future. I didn't know how to deal with things I lost by coming to Yamaku, so I was trying to sort them out myself. I thought it would help us become better friends if I did that. Silence hangs in the air again. I try to keep looking at her, but I can't. I feel really low, and though I want to apologize, I don't know how I possibly could. I hear her take a deep breath and only look back to her after hearing her drop to the ground. The sound of her crying breaks my heart. I know I'm responsible for this. I know that I can't do anything to help her. Hanako feels ashamed, and I feel all the more so. I rush to her as tears continue to roll down her cheeks, unabated, wrapping my arms around her. I don't care about how I must look anymore. I just want to be close to her right now. I'm sorry, Hisao. I've messed up everything. It's fine. Everything's fine. I'm the one that should be sorry. I was meddling around behind your back. I never told you anything. I feel my grip tighten on Hanako as my vision blurs. I can't believe you bothered trying to hold back now. I have to force my words out as the lump begins to stick in my throat. Tell you the truth, Hanako, I was scared. First time since a heart attack, I was really scared. Hisao? I lost so much when I came to Yamaku. I was depending on you more than I ever thought I did. Even now, I still have that hole inside me. Losing my entire life and everything I'd known. Thought of losing you as well. But I'm just useless. You're my friend, Hisao. You're more than that. I love you, Hanako. I love you so much that the thought of losing you frightened me so much. This is bad. Really letting it all out of this. Can't bring myself to look at her face right now. I'm sorry, Hisao. Can't help feeling a bit happy. So long, that's what I've wanted to hear. Last of the floodgates breaks. Sound of her crying permeating the air as her body jerks against mine. We hold each other tightly, connected more closely than ever in our shared grief and our shared happiness. I don't know how things are going to be like after this. Right now, though, I don't care. There's no other person in the world that either of us could possibly share these memories and emotions with. Nobody. We're dropping the dirty can into a bin next to the bench. Take a seat beside Hanako. She puts away the handkerchief I gave her to clean herself up, which hasn't helped much. Then again, I doubt I look much more presentable. Even now, I feel emptied and a bit embarrassed after letting my emotions out in public like that. It's not a bad sensation, though. I think Hanako feels that way, too. Have you calmed down a bit? Yes, thank you. For a while, we just sit and take our time before talking again to one another. Both need a little time to collect ourselves. The weather is nice at this time of year. Yeah, it is. Close my eyes for a moment, relishing the feeling of the sun's heat and the cool breeze against my face. The weather really is nice today. Really, really nice. You know, I don't want to go back to class right now, do you? She shakes her head as she finishes wiping her eyes off with her cuff. The small smile she gives is nice, and it's a reminder of how earnest it can be. Smiling for other people might be a completely normal everyday thing. For Hanako though, she smiles so rarely and so sincerely that each and every time she does it, I feel a sense of relief and happiness. I'm sorry for everything. It's okay. I think we both have a bit to be sorry for. I know that. I'm too shy. I know you don't want me to be. I don't think I can. You can change, Hanako. I know that because even in the time I've known you, you've already changed. To be honest, just being able to sit here and talk to you like this means that you've changed a lot since we first met. But I can't be like that for anyone else. I don't have any plans for after school ends either. Hanako's confidence begins to slide down again, but I think that now I can finally talk to her as an equal. I do it because I know that we're just the same in so many ways. Just give yourself time. I think you'll be able to achieve what you want. No, I'm not sure that you'll be able to do it. I can see you've been trying, and I have faith in you. And you can depend on me if you feel like you need someone to support you, you know? But I can't ask that of you. You can, because that's exactly what I'm asking of you. We're going through the same thing, you know? It's called love. Hanako smiles before I get off the bench and dust myself off. She does the same short measure. I'm kinda hungry. Want to grab something to eat? She nods vigorously. The way she's smiling, the way she's acting, even just the general air she gives off, I feel as if this is the first time I've seen her genuinely happy. Both make our way onto the street, walking beside each other. Isao? Yeah? I think I don't really understand you. I don't think I understand you either. I believe that's fine, though. Not a single hint of despair in our voices. Not understanding each other is only natural. The walls we set up between ourselves couldn't possibly be broken down in a single day. That's fine. As long as we take it day by day, try to understand one another, I think everything will be okay. As we walk down the street, though, Hanako's eyes flick to my face and back to the street repeatedly. Is something on your mind? You look restless. She slows before stopping completely. I turn to meet her. She takes a long, deep breath, looking at me face intently. This expression, I saw it once before on her face. Just once when I accidentally surprised her in her room. I think I have something I need to give you. What is it? You don't need to be evasive about it. I wanted to give you this for a long, long time, but now that I need to, it's too embarrassing. Don't worry. I'll accept it, whatever it is. She gives a sweet, bashful smile before taking my shoulder in her hand. Then please accept my first gift to you, Isao. Hanako? Oh, it is a kiss. That's what she wanted to do that. Oh my god. Yo, that's credits, bro. That was freaking... That was great! That was great! I felt so much heart. Like, what? That was short, but it was pretty good. I was really bad with the timing of breaking off my live streams. Not gonna lie, I was really terrible about it. But no, that was great. I loved it. 10 out of 10. That was a very good start to this. I'm not gonna get the bad endings on streams or whatever. Not even gonna. Don't even dream about it. No, not happening. But you know what's happening? This. I also realized my Katawa Shoujo window off. Like I think it is. Oops. I wish someone told me that. That was good. That was actually really good. That was beautiful. That was so nice. Jeez, I live streamed for 4 hours now. Damn. Really bad at this. Should have live streamed at least another hour last week, but I was feeling a lot sicker than I do today. But that was a great first route. Getting to know Hanako like that. And the fact that, like, I pinned her personality completely wrong. Like I'm bad at this. Like it's like getting to know a real human being. It was good. It's good. It's good. This was a very good Visual Thursdays. Doing this game, if it's gonna be this, like it's a roller coaster of emotions and like learning and understanding, and you know what, that's a good thing. I think that's a very good thing. So I'm gonna cut it off here. We do have like more routes to go through, so we're gonna do that. But for now, this is Anime Fan RK2K. Thank you very much for watching Visual Thursdays. For anybody who's watching this in the future, now, etc., we're gonna continue this next week with more of Katawa Shoujo. Good night, all. Thank you for joining me on this adventure, and we'll continue it next time. See ya.